Good morning. I'm Ryan Baker. The full 2026 Ohio State football schedule is out. The conference portion will kick off September 26th, hosting Illinois, then features the huge matchup with Indiana in Bloomington on October 17th, a trip to USC on Halloween. They host Oregon the following week, and of course, the game in the shoe on November 28th. While the class for the Pro Football Hall of Fame won't be released until February 5th, it is being reported that Bill Belichick did not receive the amount of votes needed to gain entry on his first ballot. It's Military Appreciation Night tonight at Nationwide as the Columbus Blue Jackets take on the Philadelphia Flyers at 7:30. Charlie Coyle will be celebrated for recently playing in his 1,000th game. Pre-game coverage on The Fan gets underway at 7. A big game up in Cleveland tonight as the Cavaliers host LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers. That one tips at 7.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery is joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Bo, the boys with you for the next 3. Joshua Perry back. I thought I was done with you, but then here you are. What a bonus, my friend, to have you back. The great Bake is here as well. Reese stuck in Charlotte. So there's going to be a lot of that flying around the country today. I think the technical term here is loaded up. We get you higher or lower at 10 o'clock. 10:30, Jake Trotter going to drop by. 11 o'clock, it is a Hey Guys First Friday. Get your questions into Bake at 971BFS. You can also do so in the YouTube chat, and we will answer those questions for the show, for Joshua. Rare to have him on a First Friday, so take full advantage of that. You want to ask him some fun questions about how Tyvus can't tackle, you can do that. 11:30, a little bit of Shelley time, and then 11:45, you're officially endorsed on this frigid First Friday. I think for the most part, Hall of Fame processes are pretty broken. And I think you can go from sport to sport and you can pick holes in all of it. I've always had a massive problem with the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. The baseball writers pretending as if they are judge and not pretending, acting as judge and jury for everybody who had anything who was remotely connected to steroid use in the 90s is quite honestly an utter joke. The idea that they can arbitrarily decide Mike Piazza didn't, but Rafael Palmeiro did, and hold some guys accountable and hold some guys not based on a whim is quite honestly pretty pathetic. The Basketball Hall of Fame is probably a little too easy. Mm-hmm. It's probably a little too easy. The Hockey Hall of Fame is pretty good, but I think at times maybe it gets a little bit too easy too. The Pro Football Hall of Fame, for the most part, has gotten it, I think, pretty close to right. And the Pro Football Hall of Fame is the one that really started that, in the baseball, I guess, really put a big onus on first ballot. Are you a first ballot Hall of Famer? Like you hear people say that, first ballot. And the Hall of Fame, I've been at the Super Bowl a bunch, and those meetings used to take place at the Super Bowl, and I remember interviewing Peter King coming right out of a Hall of Fame meeting. He was nice enough to talk to me when I was a reporter in Tallahassee, and we talked about Dan Marino getting in, and I'll never forget those type of conversations that I had. And that committee was one that was, I thought, had a lot of integrity, and it was done in person, and it was always done Super Bowl week is when they discussed who got in for the finalists. So with all of that being said, the process has changed a little bit. And one of the reasons that it's changed is they are trying to backload a lot of those veteran guys who, in some instances, feel that they got missed, or the committee feels that they got missed, and they're trying to do right by some misses. So an example of that this year is L.C. Greenwood, who a lot of people think should probably be in. I I'm not educated enough on it to be able to tell you if he should or shouldn't. I'm not going to have an opinion on if L.C. Greenwood, a Pittsburgh Steelers defensive lineman in the Steel Curtain, should get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But what that does is it causes a little bit of a logjam. The other thing they did with contributors, coaches, owners, they made them wait just 1 year after coaching versus 5. So players have to wait 5 years before you can be considered. Coaches, you can get in right away. So this brings us to this Belichick problem that happened yesterday. Bill Belichick, according to reports at ESPN, is not going to make the Pro Football Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Now, when you hear that out loud, you go, well, that's impossible. That's impossible that that's the case. So Mike Sando, Pro Football Hall of Fame voter, he kind of gave a very, I think, detailed and succinct breakdown of how this possibly happened. He did this on social yesterday, and so I'm just going to read it for you, and then we can react to it. Here are the kind of how this potentially happened. He said, before I list possibilities, understand this. Belichick, Kraft, Craig, Anderson, and Greenwood are competing for 1 to 3 spots, separate from the 15 modern era finalists. So that's what I was talking about versus the veterans and contributors versus players. 50 voters each pick 3 of the 5. Between 1 and 3 make it. 40-plus votes are needed for anyone besides the top vote getter to make it. It's a zero-sum game. Huge change was made in 2025, 250 total votes to go around for 5 candidates with a high bar for clearance. So he writes, let's say 4 or 5 voters who were strong advocates, specific senior figures, figured Belichick was going to make it regardless, so they funneled votes to competing candidates in hopes of boosting them over the 40-vote threshold. Let's say a few voters prioritize senior players on thinking that Belichick will be back in the room next year, while players on the ballot this year might disappear into the senior pool forever. Let's say a few voters found Spygate cheating disqualifying. Let's say a few voters protested new rules, making coaches eligible 1 year after retiring instead of 5. Whatever the case, I would see this as a repudiation of the new voting rules implemented in 2025, not of Belichick or any candidate not making it. There will be changes in the process, I predict. The last line is 100% fact. Whatever your standards are, whatever your processes are, if your processes, to me, say Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, then you should lose your process.
I don't even know what to make of that tweet, to be honest. Like, I think a lot of that stuff in there is valid, but this is stupid. Like, I don't think there's any other way around it. Like he's the best coach that I've ever seen. I think a lot of people would say the best coach that's ever coached the game. Like, there's not really, to your point, a process where this outcome makes any type of sense in my mind. No. So, in this doesn't even get into the idea of maybe there were people politicking. They were like, oh, Spygate's a thing and we should punish him for that. Like, what? I mean, yes, I guess, maybe no. Like, he was already punished for that, or whatever happened with that. Like, that's in the past. It's a very interesting thing. You brought up the Baseball Hall of Fame, and I think that one is really interesting because I've become close with somebody who is a baseball writer, and basically his whole process, not his whole process, but a large part of his process is going to ballparks so he can keep his baseball writer's card so he can be in the game long enough to have a Hall of Fame vote. So the thought process,
as currency then?
Yes.
Yeah.
The thought process for him is, I want to be a voter for the Hall of Fame. And when you extrapolate that out, it's basically like, I want to have a say in what happens to these guys. And I think that process is not talked about enough when it comes to how this whole thing works. I think that there are people that genuinely enjoy being able to decide how we talk about these folks after their careers end. Was he a first ballot guy? Did he get in right away? Is this something that he had to wait for? Are we going to bring up maybe some of the lowlights or the transgressions that have happened when we have these discussions now? Because we have to talk about potential reasons why he wouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's a weird thing to me, and it's disappointing when you start to realize that there are people that get into this game just because they feel like they want to have some power over how we talk about the reputation and the history of some of the figures in sports.
It's petty.
And
it is.
It sounds like there was a lot of pettiness in this. It sounds like there was a lot of pettiness from Bill Polian.
Yeah.
For some reason, it sounds like he was one kind of spearheading this. I also heard someone on ESPN last night, I can't remember who it was, say that maybe Robert Kraft had a hand in this because it sounds like Robert Kraft is getting enough votes to get in. and that maybe he didn't want to be going in with Bill Belichick, so that is sour grapes. I have always been, and maybe I'm wrong on this, and it's probably too harsh, but this is the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. This isn't the Hall of really, really good. Mm-hmm. This isn't the Hall of longevity. This is the Hall of Fame. So it's as simple to me as if you throw a name up, they're either a Hall of Famer or they're not.
Right.
Like if there's any kind of question, like I don't remember what kind of player L.C. Greenwood is. It's been this long, he's not a Hall of Famer. Like unless it was boom right away, you're not a Hall of Famer. I also don't understand, well, we can only have this many people this year, and it's like the college football playoff. I don't want automatic qualifiers. Give me the damn best teams, and that's what I want. Like, if there's 6 guys this year that are eligible for the Hall of Fame, well, we can't do that because we only have 3 eligible spots. Get the hell out of here. They're either a Hall of Famer or they're not. Yeah. And there's no bigger Hall of Famer in the NFL than Bill Belichick.
No, and the Polian part of this is really interesting to me because that's pettiness that goes back 20 years.
Yes. Did you see what he said?
20 years of, yeah, I did.
Where he was like 95% sure I voted for him.
Well, he said I did, and then he goes, well, I can't remember.
Like, what the hell does that even mean?
If you don't remember who you voted for, Coach,
sure.
That's what you shouldn't have a vote.
This is the problem. Like that to me is so problematic. Like that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And these are the people that are tasked with selecting the Hall of Fame class. It should that should never be a thing that happens. No, doesn't make sense to me.
But anytime you have humans involved, there's bias.
Sure.
And so that you're always going to get a little bit of that. But this obviously never should have happened. The Polian part of it, the pettiness, is just all-time pettiness. Mm-hmm. It's a crazy amount of pettiness. And the idea that this goes back to, Spygate from the mid-2000s when Brady and Manning were going head-to-head and all of that is just a crazy no, that was Deflategate with the Colts, right? Spygate was with the Rams, and it was Deflategate with the Colts. Because it was Bob Kravitz, then wrote for the Indianapolis newspaper over there, he's the one who did the story about Deflategate, which I always thought was utter nonsense. I just thought that was utter nonsense. Like, you're worried about something like that. So this is one of those ones, though, where you just got it wrong. You got this really wrong, and it's now going to overshadow who is going to be in this class.
Yep.
It's going to be out who's not in it, not who is in it. And that's a pretty big failure on all fronts. We'll continue with this, get you updated on the NFL coaching side of things. We got schedule releases around the Big Ten. The Buckeyes' schedule quite robust. One big team is going to have a challenge that they haven't had before. We will get to all of that on a First Friday Miracle Edition. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. The tour continues. Columbus, you're invited to sing a song all night long. Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Schottenstein Center, Saturday, June 27th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from That Other Window Place. And today, we're in my showroom to demonstrate how efficient our windows are.
Whew, it's really cold in here, Wilson.
We call that eco-friendly organic air conditioning.
Drafty windows are a major problem for energy bills and comfort. It's one of the biggest reasons why people get Pella windows.
It really is a problem, Leslie. I'm wearing 3 coats right now, looking like a beanbag with legs.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Do you hate holiday pictures because of your teeth? What if a brand new smile was possible?
No matter what the current state of your mouth.
Welcome to Runyon Dental Group. home of the Implant and Smile Center, where gorgeous, healthy smiles become a reality.
At Runyon, we've built a team of some of the most highly trained arch and implant doctors in the entire nation. This isn't an ordinary dental practice.
We believe that everyone can have a great smile,
including you, especially you. Your new smile is waiting at Runyon Dental Group.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
Hungry students can't focus on learning in our classrooms. Ensuring students are fed is just as important as ensuring students have notebooks and pencils. Please stand with us to make sure all students can get the nutritious meals they need. Together, we can build a future where every child is fed, focused, and free to learn.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny skies today, but don't let that fool you. Still bone-chilling cold with our feels like 10 to 15 below. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight with lows below zero and feels like even lower than that. And then for Thursday, mostly sunny skies with highs in the teens and feels like still well below zero. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
How many of the Hall of Fames have you guys been to?
Been to the College Football Hall of Fame. And How
is that? That's Atlanta, right?
Yeah. It's fine. It's, I think you do it once and then probably feel like you cross it off your list. I think you could go to Canton numerous times and still feel like there's a lot to dig into. I've been there before, but that's it.
So I've only been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and obviously I've been there multiple times. I get to go up there every year for the state football championships. Now, every year I don't go inside the Hall of Fame, but
when's the last time you went in?
It would have been not this past year, but the year before. Okay. We went up in October for a site check.
But since the additions that they made
since
the last
all of
5
that,
years,
for sure.
The improvements that they made.
So if people haven't been there, they need to go because it's totally different.
It's massive now. And I'm dubious about some of the stuff they have going on around it, if they'll ever actually get it done. We're there quite a bit. We play a lot of lacrosse tournaments there and stuff, so I'm there quite a bit. And so I've been to the hockey. I've been to the basketball, the basketball in Springfield, the hockey's in Toronto, and the pro football, obviously, in Canton. And the one thing, you mentioned the college football one, Joshua, the thing that's one of those ones. I mean, let's use the threes thing right now. Like, that's one where, because it took so long to get the thing organized and going, I think originally it was in South Bend. I think the College Football Hall of Fame was originally in South Bend. And it took so long to get organized that they basically have a backlog of dudes who all should have been first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yep.
I mean, thousands of them, quite honestly. There's hundreds of thousands of guys who should have gone in a long time ago.
Well,
and it's almost like what they need to do on something like that is take everybody who is, induct like hundreds of guys posthumously,
right,
and put them in and just be done with it and just celebrate those guys and then get caught up, because then you're not in the scenario where every year I look at the finalists for the College Football Hall of Fame and I'm like, well, every single one of these guys should have been in on the first ballot.
Yep. It's
like, so the backlog is the problem there.
Yeah, I was looking at again with James and some of the class there, but like, Mark Ingram is a guy who didn't go in on the first ballot, and to me it's kind of like, I mean, what are we doing here? He
literally won the Heisman.
Yeah. Cam Newton is another one, by the way, who is not going in on the first ballot. Like, again, what are we doing
that's
here?
Real? He didn't?
You could say it's Joe Burrow. That might have been the greatest year out of a player I've ever seen.
Cam Newton's year's better than Joe's because he didn't have Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
And that's where I'm leaning on it. But if people want to have the debate, we can.
Go have the two deep at Auburn the year he won it.
Yeah, man. It was ridiculous.
Count the NFL players that were on Auburn's team and then go look at the...
that was a perfect season for them, right? Like, him doing that. Yeah, with that roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Burrow season, the Burrow season is the greatest single season anybody's ever played in their life. But in terms of individual excellence and carrying a team, the Cam Newton season is that answer.
And he's not going to go into the College Football Hall of Fame on the first ballot.
And so that's one of those ones where I wonder, just because he's a punk kind of, and he comes across as kind of a punk a little bit post-player. Like, I do wonder if there's some of that, because obviously his talent was such that he should have played longer in the league than he did.
Yes.
But he kind of wore on people.
He wore himself out too.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, he took way too many hits.
Yes,
certainly. But that's a guy who you should walk in. 3 should have walked in on a first ballot. He's
I
a
agree.
Consensus first team All American.
100%.
If you're that, walk in.
It feels like part of this thing to everything you're saying right now. If there were some sort of standards where you can say, if you have done this, automatically you're in, it would make this thing a little bit more sensible to me.
I don't know why they put coaches. I mean, the reason we're having this Belichick conversation is somehow coaches are in the same boat as contributors and owners, and with the Veterans Committee. Why would Belichick not just be in with the players?
Well, he's a contributor. He contributed.
No, I know, but like,
I'm joking. Like, there's not a good reason.
How could you not be in the same group with the players who are getting in? Like, coaches should be in this, have the same rules to get in as players, as far as I'm concerned. Then this probably solves it.
He's second all-time in wins behind Don Shula. He's pretty close. 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, 2 more as a defensive coordinator. I mean, come on now. It's so funny listening to you guys just now talk about Cam Newton and Joe Burrow and all that. I felt like I was looking at our text messages last night talking about Braxton Miller, and maybe he wasn't the best, but he's the most important. And
yeah. Well, I didn't realize, Bake, we were just to pull the curtain back a little bit. We were talking about Brax. We talking about it earlier in the week. I think we stumbled on about NIL valuations, like what somebody could have made. And Bake, I didn't realize that you missed a lot of his time.
Yeah, I did. So from 2011 to 2013, which I believe is the whole time he was playing quarterback at Ohio State, I was traveling on Saturdays covering high school football games around the state. So I watched maybe in those 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 Ohio State games live while they happened. So I missed a lot of Braxton actually playing quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, he won the Big Ten Player of the Year twice. He won the Silver Football twice. He would have won it as a senior had he not gotten hurt.
Might have won a Heisman.
Yeah, he was a favorite.
Yeah,
people don't remember it now because you guys ended up winning the national title that year. But I'll never forget being on air when we got news that he was done, and it was like a funeral.
Well, that's what it was on the practice field.
Season's over. Well, okay, see you in 2015.
Urban tells a story that he went home to Shelley and was like, "Yeah, we're going 5-7 this year." That's what we felt at that. Like, when we saw him go down, you could hear a pin drop on the field. Like, it was like all of the oxygen left Ackerman Road, and we're like, what are we going to do? And the further I get away from my playing days and being in it, right, like watching these things as they happen from the field, and now consuming them in highlights on the computer or on the phone, it becomes a little bit more ridiculous how good he was. And I just don't feel like he gets the proper credit for it.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that's going to be remembered for the people that are here very differently than he's remembered by people who aren't.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you were here and you covered it, you know it. I've never asked you this. What do you remember about how he got hurt?
It was a regular ass throw. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then he went down, and we're like, oh my God, that's not supposed to happen.
He didn't get hit or anything. He
No.
just was dropping back to pass. Was it an 11-on-11 or 7-on-7?
It was during team drill, so it was 11-on-11, and he had the shoulder injury against, I think, Michigan State in the Big Ten championship. He banged it up. Then against Clemson, he got hit going into the end zone, and so he's rehabbing all offseason. And literally, you just watch him throw the ball, and it's like, all right, well, like he's not supposed to be in pain after throwing that pass,
right?
And that was it. And then it was like, here's this redshirt freshman from Wichita Falls, Texas. Like, okay, so let's see how this thing goes. That was basically it.
Yeah, but you don't have a choice. It's on to the next. That's one of the things that's so, having been at NFL training camps, like I remember being at the one when Grant Delpit tore his Achilles, and he was just kind of jogging backwards, and he tore his Achilles. And he was a huge draft pick and was going to contribute right away. And he's obviously turned into a very good player. But as it happens, what's so sobering about it is it goes down. There's a complete hush over all of training camp. And then next thing you know, he's moved off and it's on to the next.
Dude.
And that's the crazy thing about football. Like when something catastrophic like that happens from an injury standpoint, they're moved off, and then they look at everybody and they say, "Let's go back to work." The only time that I've ever heard of a team being like, "Yeah, go home," was Teddy Bridgewater in Minnesota.
Yeah,
when he shredded his knee, and they're like, "Yeah, go. Just go home."
The worst thing about the sport is literally a guy will be getting tended to on the field, like they can't even get him off the field yet, and they're like, "Move the ball up 15."
Yeah,
like
on to the next. Jeez,
are you kidding? Are you kidding?
When people use the gladiator thing with football a lot, it's probably the closest it gets to it.
Yep, that's it.
We're just drag them off and send another gladiator out to take on the Lions. Who's got next? I mean, that's kind of the mentality of it. All right, coming up next, the Big Ten football schedule is out. What do we make of the Buckeyes slate? We will have it for you. I think we can probably predict where a lot of these games are going to be in terms of kick times as well. Have some fun with that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Don't start the new year with the same old ride. Right now, score low lease payments on all 2026 models, like $149 a month for a brand new Elantra or $159 for a new Sonata. Hurry in and kick off the new year right. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit $39.95 down plus tax, title, and fees. 2-year lease with 10K miles per year. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Ends 2-2.
Is 2026 the year you achieve your health goals? The Good Feet store wants to help. Trade in your bad feet for good feet. We want to help you walk, run, exercise, and play in comfort this year. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
You got this. Breathe. You got this. You got it.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra. Exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
what's up.
What's up, man? What's up with you?
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. The Big Ten releasing their football schedules for 2026. They did it last night. And in that schedule is now your dates for your Ohio State schedule in 2026, of course. Last year, of course, opening with Texas. We will be in Austin. That will be week 2 this year. You can Sharpie that one, 7:30 kick down in Austin on that one. In terms of the rest of it, you open with Ball State. That much we knew. That's September 5th. So this is a week later than last year because last year we had the extra week in August. Is that how it worked out? I think so.
Yeah.
So September 5th, Ball State here. Then you'll go to Austin, take on the Horns. That's going to be a 2 top 5 teams, right?
I would say so.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll both be top 5 to start. Then you're back here for Kent State. That is on the 19th. Then your real home opener in terms of games of where there's some chance of something going sideways. Illinois here is on September 26th. Then you are at Kinnick on October 3rd, Maryland back here on October 10th, in Bloomington against Indiana. That game is October 17th. Then you have an off week, and then you are at USC at the first trip out there for a Big Ten game against the Trojans. Then finally, Oregon here on November 7th for the Big Ten game. First time that they've come here as a Big Ten opponent. Then Northwestern here on the 14th. Then they are at Nebraska on the 21st, and of course Michigan here on the 28th. The first thing that jumps out to me if you're Ross Bjork and you're in the business of selling tickets and making money, I'm looking at this thing and I'm going, wake me up when Oregon gets here.
Yeah, seriously.
That's the first thing I thought of is like, God, they did them no favors in the early part of the schedule when the weather's nice. There's not a September or October game where it's like, I got to be at that one. There just isn't. And that's, they have botched this from the Ohio State perspective so big the last couple of years. It's just not playing the hits. USC should have been here year 1, and then Oregon being November 7th. That really surprised me. I really thought that game would be in October, guys.
Yeah, the other part about this, too, is Penn State not being a permanent opponent. Like, every other year you could count on that one being a game that people would want to show up to. And you're just not going to have that either on a year in, year out basis. So, I'm with you in terms of what the home slate looks like. There's going to be a lot of slogging through it. Feels like there's going to be some early games that you got to get liquored up quickly in order to really be at your peak there. But in totality, and we talked about it knowing the opponents, but now seeing some of the dates here, like there are a couple stretches in here. Really, the middle of that schedule where it's like you better be good early. You better pack your big boy pants because you got to take some good trips too.
Indiana, USC, Oregon with a bye week in the middle of it that's a pretty brutal stretch.
Yeah.
Right there.
Going to Kinnick too, right?
It is.
That kind of kicks it off, and you get Maryland at home, which is fine, but then you get into that Indiana, as you mentioned, bye week, traveling to. There's going to be a spooky trip for Halloween, traveling out to the West Coast and then coming back to Oregon.
Yeah, I think Illinois, Iowa, and Indiana, 3 out of 4 weeks in a row. That's a pretty healthy month there. And then you get the bye week, and then the USC trip in Oregon. That's decently hardy schedule.
Nebraska is another one that's a little bit underrated there, just as a look-ahead spot. I don't know how good they're going to be. I feel like the shine is certainly off of Matt Rule, but it's a team that's going to be competitive. They're going to want to play you tough, and you got them right before you have the biggest game of the year. Like, it's an interesting schedule because unlike last year, I think this is a team that's going to have to be on guard earlier and a little bit more often than we usually feel like they have to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of I'm looking at this, and I think, like 10-2 feels like it's in play.
Sure.
For sure. I think you're going to accrue some losses here next year. Just defensively. We replaced 8 starters last year, but you had 3 top 15 picks in this year's NFL draft who were returning, and you knew that those guys were in the middle of that and that they could elevate some other guys around it. So, I think that part's going to be interesting. I was texting with a buddy of mine, Penn State buddy. I reference him all the time on the show, and he and I were talking about it, and he sent me Penn State's schedule, and he goes, "Can I buy a vowel? Because there's no O on it." And he because they want it too.
Right.
There was one guy over there who didn't want it, and it was James Franklin.
Sure. And now he's gone.
James Franklin didn't want it. And he goes, James Franklin should go to jail for this. And it is criminal. It's criminal. there's no reason that Penn State is not coming over here and that game is not being played on the last weekend in October or the first week in November over here or over there. It should be played at night, and it should be played every year, and it's shameful that it's not. Speaking of Penn State, and we can get to this coming up in the next segment, like, he's got a pretty favorable track here in terms of year one at Penn State. Like, that schedule to me with Penn State screams 10-0. If we do the schedule game here and say to yourself, let's do this. Let's go win or loss and kick time. Okay, so win or loss and kick time. All right, Ball State here at home. Obviously wins across the board. Kick time for Ball State, September 5th.
Could this be one of those Big Ten Network night games?
Sold.
Yeah.
This screams at night. Big Ten Network or Peacock.
Yep.
This screams night game.
Yep.
See, I think it's the Kent State games. That's the night game. So I don't know if this is the 1 o'clock Big Ten Network game or if this is 3:30 somewhere, but I don't think this is the night game to open the season. I think it's the Kent State one, week 3.
I think Ross is going to lobby and lean hard for this to be the night game.
I mean,
lean hard for the opener to be at night because, and this is getting scraps because the surf and turf last year was Texas and they couldn't do anything about it. So that you're getting scraps here, but I would bet strongly that that's a night game, that Ball State's at night. Texas, we know is going to be at night. That's a true toss-up.
I feel like people probably feel better about where Texas is right now than Ohio State. You know, questions I think for both sides. Texas bringing in a new D coordinator. Their defense fell apart by the end of last year. They got to get the run game back together, but you know, it seems like there's this momentum of Texas and it could be their year and they could win a title. And I think people are looking at Ohio State more realistically with some of the talent that they lost. And it's basically like, do you believe that Julian and Jeremiah early on in the year can get them over the hump to try to win a game like this? At this point, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you lost down there. I think that would be totally believable. I mean, Texas has got a whole new roster.
Yeah.
Really, outside of Arch. I mean, they
brought in some guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I picked against Ohio State this past year. I can't do that again.
I'm not picking against them now. I'm just saying as we look at it, schedule game, this would be one where you could see it happening. Kent State, obviously win. That one screams to me, that feels like your Big Tenner to me, your BTN, or that feels like that too, that they'll lean on that for now.
This one's one of those weird ones where I'd have to look at what the rest of the conference slate looks like, because this is the week where everybody might be playing a terrible opponent, and it might slot in as like a 3:30 CBS,
right.
or it might get kicked. This might be the one where Ross can lobby for NBC at night just because there might not be any good inventory that week.
So that week, I'm just kind of looking real fast here, and that's week 3.
4. 3. You're right.
Yeah, week 3. Maryland's playing Virginia Tech. Michigan State's Notre Dame, but that's on the road, so that wouldn't be. Northwestern Colorado. Rutgers
it's in
USC.
play.
It feels like it could be a 3:30.
Could be, yeah. September 26th, Illinois here, Big Noon.
Yep.
You're not going to go a month without them being on Big Noon.
Agreed.
The only other game it could be that week, at least in the Big Ten that I've looked at, is Iowa at Michigan.
It's going to be Illinois, Ohio State.
I agree.
Iowa at Kinnick.
That's Big Noon.
Big
also.
Noon.
That screams Big Noon. They love going out there.
Yep.
I'd have to look at the schedule. That could be you guys though too. I could see that being a night game at Kinnick. I could see that possible. Maryland here. That's
could
going to
be
3:30 or 7:30, right?
I don't know. I mean, BTN I think has to get a conference game as well from each school. They got to get 2 a year, and one of them has to be a conference matchup. So
either this, yeah, it's got to be this, either this one or Northwestern.
That's what it's going to come down to. I think it's either, as you said, Maryland, or you wait till the end of the year to get it.
Bo, I was just looking. Ohio State, Iowa's going to be Big Noon.
It is it.
Yeah, it's going to be Big Noon.
Indiana's Big Noon for sure. We know that.
Yep.
Then you got the bye week. USC, I think that screams you guys, bud.
It
that
does.
screams NBC.
I hope they get it right, but I'd love to have that one.
Oregon on November 7th.
And that's big. That's big noon too, which sucks for Oregon fans.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Yeah. I could see it maybe going 3:30 if CBS. I mean, because they do the draft initially.
Yes. If they make that,
maybe go 3:30.
But I mean, the crazy thing about that draft is like Fox gets the first 3 picks.
Right.
So,
no, I know.
I mean,
all right. So then Northwestern, that screams big BTN.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's you know, or that's like a Peacock special, right?
Absolutely.
Like a 7:00 Peacock kick, no pregame. Like,
where is Ohio State, Joshua? Do you know where they are on night games in November? Because they always really avoided those. They have done some early ones before, but they typically don't like doing that.
I think, wasn't UCLA this past year, was that a November game?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was.
I think Ross is probably a little bit more open to the idea than Gene ever would have been.
Well, I think the college football playoff in the Tennessee and the re-winner, and I know there's still a lot of work to do at the shoe, but they've done enough to play those games, and obviously the Stadium Series game. So I would guess that philosophy's out the window now.
Yeah. Nebraska, big noon.
Yep.
At Nebraska. Then Michigan, big noon.
The only thing that might maybe fight that Ohio State-Nebraska game is if Michigan State is good this year. They're playing Oregon. They're hosting Oregon that week. So maybe, but yeah, it's probably.
You're taking Ohio State, Nebraska over Oregon and Michigan State,
I
I
would
think.
say, yeah.
All right. There are some other big, I think by and large, it's a very ambitious schedule.
It is.
To me, it feels like 10-2 would be very much like where I'm going to say that is my minimum. That's my expectation is 10-2.
Yeah.
Like I think there are losses here. And that's okay. Like doesn't matter. You lost 2 games and you won a national title. So it's okay to have some losses and some growing pains. I think this team will be better at the end of the year than they are at the beginning. So that's something to watch for. In terms of the rest of the schedule, there are, to me, some clear winners and losers in this Big Ten schedule, and I think a message is being sent to one program especially. We will get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan. The biggest party of the year is here. Zach Brown Band, Love and Fear Tour, presented by Margaritaville at Sea. Friday, August 14th, Nationwide Arena. Zach Brown Band.
We're all in the same boat, fishing in the same hole.
One night, all the hits. Zach Brown Band with special guest, Old Crow Medicine Show. CMA, ACM, and Grammy Award-winning Zach Brown Band. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at ZachBrownBand.com.
And a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right.
Don't miss Zach Brown Band. Love and Fear. Live.
Chronic pain can make life feel impossible, but at QC Kinetics, there's a breakthrough that's giving people real hope. Stem wave therapy.
It has fundamentally changed the way I look at cases after 30 years in practice. So when we talk about regenerative medicine, we're talking about these types of devices.
That's Dr. Tony DeCesaro, one of the nation's authorities on stem wave therapy.
Been around for about 30 years in Europe. Now it's really taken a real foothold. People are tired of just using pills that really cover everything up and they don't really heal.
This device is both diagnostic and therapeutic, helping the medical team at QC Kinetics find the problem and trigger your body's natural healing response.
It's about giving hope, right? That there are options.
QC Kinetics. Harness the power of stem wave and get relief now. Your first treatment is only $49. Call for your consultation here in Columbus, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. One of the great annoyances in life, at least for me, is the check engine light, right? You get in your car, you see the check engine light, and you go, I got to take care of that. I don't know what it is. So you let it sit there forever, it bugs you, and eventually a bigger problem happens. Well, every day in your house, your check engine light might be on, but it's not your engine, it's your windows. Because you sit down on your couch, you feel the cold, drafty air coming in through your windows, and you go, I got to do something about these windows. But just like the check engine light, I'm afraid of how much it's going to cost, and I don't know where to go. I can't help you with your check engine light, but I can help you with your windows. Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale is going on now. Stop wasting money by letting the warm air in your house escape through your cold, drafty windows. You're spending more on your heating bills when you don't have to. Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale is the perfect time to address this problem. Plus, 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. That could be yours as well. Schedule an estimate today. WindowNation.com.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Being diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, or one of over 100 other types of blood cancer makes people want more time to do the things they love. That means more time to be artists, prom dates, world travelers, and moms. We are Blood Cancer United, the world's leading organization focused solely on blood cancer research, support, and advocacy. We do the most for more people with blood cancer, so people with blood cancer can do more of whatever they want. Blood Cancer United. Join us at bloodcancerunited.org.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, don't even think about this. Just give me, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Just give me off your head all of the teams that apply to this. Name the teams that, from a talent standpoint, are playoff contenders as we sit here at the end of January in the Big Ten. Legitimate playoff contenders.
From a talent standpoint,
yep.
Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana's upgraded their talent. I've watched them do it with less. I'm going to say they're in the mix. I don't know where I land on Michigan quite yet, talent-wise. And the other one I'll throw in there is Southern California has stockpiled some good talent over the last couple years and had a lot of guys come back.
Bake?
So I feel Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana are locks there. I believe Michigan is in that group as well. Talent-wise, USC is probably in there. And probably, I want to say Washington, talent-wise, is probably right there too. And I'm not sure about Penn State because I don't know what Iowa State would do in the Big Ten.
Well, we're going to find out. So, I mean, they are essentially the Penn State Cyclones this year.
Yes.
So, look, here's what I think. So, I think you guys are right. The three no-brainers I'm with you guys on, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana for sure. Then I wrote down 4 others who, if they got in or if they had a 10-2 season, I wouldn't be floored. And I had Michigan in that list. I think it's just such a massive – I mean, heck, they went 9-3, didn't they, this year?
Yeah.
With incompetency, and God knows what was going on behind the scenes there.
Every team that they played that was a good ball team went belt to ass on them.
They did.
So it was a weird 9-3, but yes, they had the OnlyFans coach during halftime that got them there. So
I mean, come on, can
insane.
You imagine what was going on?
Insane.
No quarterback coach for Bryce Underwood, and now they're going to have one of the best coaches in the sport.
Yes.
So to coach talent that is pretty decent, and they kept their running backs, they kept Underwood. So I got Michigan in there. That wouldn't shock me. I got Penn State on this list. I think Matt Campbell's basically starting at like shortstop. Because he's got 30 guys from Iowa State that who know everything.
Is he that good of a coach that he can bring Iowa State over?
Well, this is going to get to my point. USC for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. Great recruiting class, good portal class, returning quarterback, all of it. Like USC for sure. And then I do have Washington. I'm with you. I like them. I liked them this year. Like, would it shock me if Washington went 10-2? No, it wouldn't, especially when you get to our schedule. And this was the point of this exercise. And I think of the teams we've talked about, I think Penn State might have the least talent of the team we talked about. But this schedule for them?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I feel like they could stumble into 10-2. Marshall, Temple, Buffalo, Wisconsin, Northwestern, USC, Michigan, Purdue, Washington, Minnesota, Rutgers, Maryland. There's only 3 games on that schedule where it feels like the talent will equate, and that's USC, Michigan, and Washington, maybe?
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
To me, that screams 10-2. No Buckeyes on their schedule, no Michigan on their schedule. I mean, they do have Michigan, I'm sorry. No Oregon on their schedule, no Indiana on their schedule.
Yeah. But once again, like
the 3 teams, though, that we said are like locks to be in the mix, they don't have to play any of them. That's criminal.
It is criminal. Again, I'm just kind of in that wait and see with where Penn State's at. But like the schedules, that's the problem with the Super Conference era. And we saw it. We've seen it. Like we saw it with the ACC and how weird their tiebreakers are and all the different things. The schedules are so imbalanced, and there's just not a great way to balance the schedules out.
No.
Like you can't do it. So you end up with an Ohio State who is a team that you should want to have a very clear path every year because you know when they get in the postseason, they can win it. And they've got there's 5 games on that schedule where you're looking, it's like, woo. And then you see how those games are stacked up and you're like, damn, it's going to be a tough stretch. And then you get a Penn State where it's like, I mean, you only got to show up for 3 games this year. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
That's where I'm at. And I think he's an upgrade from a coach standpoint, or at least even. And now he's coaching 30 guys who know his system very well. Now, they have no recruiting class, obviously, but you're not going to count on freshmen much anyway.
No.
The other thing that jumped out at me at this was what happened, what they did with Indiana. So Indiana going Nebraska, Ohio State, Michigan, Minnesota, by USC, Washington. That's getting after it.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Like Ohio State, Michigan back-to-back for Indiana, that's getting after it.
I know this is not something that people should say out loud, but I don't think they should do that to their best contenders. I just don't.
What do you mean?
You won the national championship. Congratulations.
Yeah. No, like give that stretch to Purdue.
But the only pushback I'd give you on that is that's how you end up with Ohio State, Kent State at Big Noon.
No, I'm totally there with you from that
good
standpoint.
Versus good, you know?
But that, I mean, back to back like that is just miserable.
It's bad. Yeah. I mean, Ohio State, Michigan back to back. I'm trying to see if anybody else has the Buckeyes and Wolverines back to back.
Iowa. They got Michigan, then Ohio State. Yep.
Do they have them? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
They go Michigan, Ohio State, Washington.
Yeah.
For Iowa.
Like what are we doing, guys?
Kirk Ferentz.
Jeez. Here's another quirk in the schedule that I'm not sure people are aware of, but since the USC Notre Dame rivalry has gone away, USC still needs to find another game. They're missing a game.
Are they really?
They've got 11. They need to find a 12th game.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know who that is.
A pay game.
It's
right?
got to be a bye game. It that's
they'll play a 1AA or something like that.
So yeah,
that's pretty shameful. By the way, and I've always been a proponent of if you want Notre Dame to join the Big Ten, which we should want them to join the Big Ten, and you should force them. If you're Michigan State and you're Wisconsin, why are you playing them?
Yeah, I mean, I think Tony Petitti's asking that question to these guys right now.
Don't play them.
Yeah,
and then they're not going to have a choice. So. Look, from the Buckeye perspective, it's a challenging schedule. I wish it was a little bit more front-loaded. I'd like to swap like one of those ones from October, like an Illinois or a Maryland, swap that with an Oregon. It'd be nice to have like a marquee game in September here or October. That'd be nice. And instead, you're not going to have that. So that's the way that it all shakes down. Pretty ambitious for some of the teams. Going to be a fun year in the Big Ten Conference. Coming up next, second hour of the program, we kick it off with a little higher or lower. Jake Trotter going to join us at 10:30. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, the new year is here. And if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements: more energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
They say glory is earned, not given. We say it's ignited by heart and ends with a boom. Get your tickets today at BlueJackets.com.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
When my wife and I got married after both graduating law school, we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Ultima had to give me her gas card just to drive home. We never could have imagined that one day we would have the largest injury firm in the world and $25 billion in money collected and counting. As good Catholics, we had 4 children fast. They all work in the firm today. Our family protecting yours. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. But our greatest gift was years away, grandchildren. Today we have 6 and counting. It's the greatest joy that we have ever experienced. I think about them all day long. Our family promises to protect your family should you need us. Call us. It's easy. Visit forthepeople.com and make sure you hug your grandchildren. God's final gift to us. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Baths R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Baths R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra. Exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker. We got the full 2026 Ohio State football schedule released yesterday. The Buckeyes will kick off conference play at home against Illinois, then go to Iowa, back home against Maryland, head to Bloomington. They will have their bye week, then head to USC, host Oregon and Northwestern, back-to-back at the Shoe, travel to Nebraska, then wrap up with the game at home. It's Military Appreciation Night tonight at Nationwide. The Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the Philadelphia Flyers, a later 7:30 start time. They will celebrate Charlie Coyle's 1,000th game pregame. Yesterday, the Blue Jackets activated defenseman Denton Matejchuk off IR. They also placed Zach Aston Reese and Brendan Gaunce on waivers. Pregame coverage on The Fan tonight gets underway at 7. A big game in Cleveland this evening. The Cavaliers hosting LeBron and the Lakers. 7 o'clock tip up in Cleveland.
On YouTube, search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a First Friday. Still time to get your Hey Guys questions into Bake. You can do so at 971-BFS, also in the YouTube chat, and we will do that coming up in an hour from now. Time now for a little higher, lower. Hit it, Bake.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
I feel like anytime we can play that music, it is a win here on this show.
Love it.
We're starting to get way too early. College football top 25s. This was actually the first one I saw, and I believe I saw this last week or the week before. So we're going to go ahead and get to this one. This is on threes. Way too early. College football top 25. At number 1, they've got our Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 2 is Georgia. Number 3, Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns. Higher or lower for Arch and Texas at 3?
This is such a fun drill because, quite honestly, nobody knows what these rosters are really going to look like.
Yep.
No one's been through spring ball. You know, like all these two kids we signed from Alabama, the safety from Duke. Like, I don't know. I wasn't watching Duke football this year. I don't have any idea. Like, this dude could go. I mean, I watched
You didn't watch the ACC champs? What do you mean?
I didn't watch it, buddy. I'm sorry. So, I look at this thing. I think of, like, the Buckeyes at 1. To me, that is great coach, great program, great quarterback. Let's roll with it.
Right.
I think the same is probably true at Georgia and Texas and honestly Notre Dame, who comes in at number 4. We haven't got to them yet, but like all of them have returning quarterbacks. If this feels a lot like last year, then you probably have the right read on that, because if you think of last year, you think about Penn State starting in the top 5, you think about LSU right there, you think about Clemson. All of that was predicated on returning quarterback, and then Arch, of course, was number 1 at Texas based on the hype and all of those things. I think it's too high for Texas because I think go look at how many guys they lost. I mean, it's a whole new running back room. It's new receivers. It's a bunch of stuff that has to get on the same page. I'm not sure how I feel about Ohio State being 1 on this thing, based on defensively kind of a complete remake.
So I'll start with your point about Ohio State. I think people are like, we know Ryan Day. Mm-hmm. We trust Ryan Day at this point. He's won a championship. Julian Sayin was a Heisman finalist. Certainly didn't look all that great toward the end of the year, but he was a Heisman finalist. And you've got the best player in America in Jeremiah Smith. Mm-hmm. So I think they just put those things in a bucket and say Ohio State's going to be number 1. But to your point, how do you feel about the offensive line? Didn't really hit in the portal. Those guys are going to be more veteran, but are they actually going to be a better unit? Because that was the Achilles heel at the end of the year. I think there's a trust factor that they'll be able to create another really good defense, maybe not elite to the level it was this year, but I do think people trust that. I'm a little bit more on there are probably more proven commodities out there than Ohio State at 1. Texas, again, I agree with everything you're saying about their roster. There's just a lot of turnover, a lot of different faces. Arch is back. He played well toward the end of the year. Hollywood Smothers, they got out of the portal at running back. He was, a player that a lot of people wanted. Cam Coleman, the wide receiver, is going there. I think Wingo's back as well. My question is what they do on defense and who they bring in. Was it Will Muschamp who's back?
Yeah.
As their defensive coordinator.
He's coached in every team in the SEC.
No, he really has.
He really has. I'm not kidding.
I think he's a good coach. I still got questions because that defense did not live up to the billing by the end of the year. So I think 3 feels about right because I believe in the talent there. I'm 50-50 on Sark. I don't know how much I truly believe in him, but I do think that they should be one of the, probably top 5, but I think 3 is reasonable.
I'll tell you, you ask Longhorn fans about Sark, and they got a pretty strong opinion on him, his inability to get it done.
It's the whole Ryan Day gave up the play sheet during the title run, and it feels like a different coach. I think it's too hard in this era particularly to be a head coach and a play caller, and that's what Sark wants to be.
I love these next 3, so we're going to lump them all in together. I know we usually do that anyway, but number 4, Notre Dame. Number 5, your defending national champion, Indiana Hoosiers. And at number 6, the Oregon Ducks. Higher or lower for those 3?
So Oregon, I'm sorry, let me just start with Indiana. Indiana's completely Cignetti faith, and he deserves all of it because it's a total reset roster-wise for them. They went in the portal for everybody, so it's just, Cignetti's done this before. Let's trust that he can do it again, and I'm not disputing that. You should. I'm done doubting the guy. To me, I could make a pretty strong argument that Oregon should be the number 1 team in the country to start the year.
Yeah. You can.
They were incredibly aggressive in the portal, incredible recruiting classes back to back to back. Moore's coming back at quarterback. Remember, at the end of the year, they weren't healthy at wide receiver. At all. I mean, to the point where they were playing 4th-string running backs. Like, they had no health at the weapons.
Nope.
To me, if I was looking at this, like 1 through 6, and I think they have a lot of these teams right, I think you could make a very strong argument that Oregon should be preseason number 1.
Did you see who recently did make that case on the Triple Option podcast?
Herbs?
Yeah.
Well, me and Urban cut from the same cloth.
I'm kind of there with you guys. You mentioned all the guys that they have coming back. They were young at some spots on defense where I think they'll be really good. They got Coy Parrish out of the portal as well. And they did this with Dylan Thieneman, who I think underwhelmed just a little bit there. I think Parrish is going to be a better player for them than Thieneman was, who was a good player, but maybe didn't max out. So there's a lot to like there. The one that I'm on right now, and maybe it's because I talked to Bodie out there for a little while, and I'm a little bit of a company man, but I know the running back room is going to be different. Notre Dame, it's hard to avoid that they could be the best team in college football this year.
They get running back sorted.
That's basically all they have to do.
That's all they got to do.
They had wide receivers return. They went into the portal and got wide receivers. CJ Carr, I thought, was spinning it last year. He's going to be a year better. That offensive line should still be good. And they have a lot of returners on the defensive side of the ball. Like, if they're the 2 teams to me, Oregon, Notre Dame, I think you can safely say should be higher. Indiana, again, that's the Cignetti faith. I'm not convinced that Josh Hoover is actually a better quarterback than Fernando Mendoza either. And people keep trying to sell me on that. I got to watch a little bit more of the tape to get there. So,
dude, it's revisionist history on Mendoza. Mendoza was the number 1 quarterback in the portal last year. Everybody wanted Mendoza.
Yeah.
He's going to go number 1 in the draft. Like, this Hoover guy's not going number 1 in the draft.
No, people talk about Fernando Mendoza, and I know nobody was watching Cal, but if you watched ball,
NFL was.
Yes, nobody was shocked. They're like, here's this 6'5" guy who's got a good arm, and he's really smart. He hopped in the portal. He played well. He had a bad offensive line. Oh, look, he's going to Indiana. If you knew ball, you knew this was going to work.
So I'm with you on Notre Dame. I think you could go Oregon, Notre Dame 1-2, and then you could kind of go – you could easily go Ohio State, Georgia, Texas in some order.
Georgia's a question for me, too, though. And they are a team who refuses to do the portal thing the way that everybody else does.
They do. Well, some of that could be they don't have the finances for it.
Well, I mean, they should have some big money people in Atlanta, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
At number 7, we've got Texas Tech. At number 8, Texas A&M. Number 9, the U. Number 10, Oklahoma. These next 2 are the 2 I want to focus on. Number 11, Michigan, and number 12, LSU. Higher or lower for Kyle Whittingham and Lane Kiffin?
It's too high for Michigan.
Agree.
I think LSU could be this year's Texas Tech from last year or this year's Miami. I think Lane Kiffin, despite all of the off-field stuff, and there's a billion layers to it, I think he's a really good coach. I think he's a really good offensive coach, and they went as full bear as you can in the portal. I think Levitt will play well there. They've got weapons. They got the tackle from Colorado, the defensive end from Ole Miss. Like, they were the portal team with all that Raising Cane's money. I would have LSU higher than this. You blew through kind of Miami and Texas A&M. Miami's another one where it's just full faith in their portal process.
Yes.
Because they lost a ton of guys. I think Oklahoma's going to be good again, too, because the quarterback returns. Same with A&M. I think both those teams I'd like better than Georgia right now.
I'm there with you. Oklahoma was a year early this year, too, and their schedule was difficult last year. So that was proof to me that Brent Venables knows what he's doing and how to build, and that he can coach a big-time outfit. I fully disagree with you on LSU and on Lane Kiffin. I am not sold on Sam Levitt. I'm just not. I watched him early on in his career, and I watched him in a year with Cam Scatteraboo, who was doing everything for that offense. And then I watched him this past year, and I know he was banged up, so probably not the best evaluation. I think the market got way too hot on him, so they might have overpaid for a guy who I think is good, not great. And I have no reason to believe that Lane Kiffin is anything other than just a good offensive coach. He's Steve Sarkisian in a lot of ways, where it's like, okay, I'm waiting for that next level. Like, can you actually build me a team that can win a title? And I think he can give you an offense that can do it. But even this year with Ole Miss, like, it never felt like they were ever a team that could actually win it, because they profiled too closely to the 2019 LSU team, which had a defense that was outside of the top 30, but without Joe Burrow throwing the ball. That's not a team to me that can win a title. So I'm in wait and see with LSU.
BYU is number 13, Penn State number 14, Ole Miss is at 15, Utah.
Just do 24 for God's sakes.
Oh, you want 24?
I want 24.
The Florida Gators come in at number 24.
What are we doing? What do we just randomly decide? Hey, we got to put an SEC team in here. Let's throw these. What has Florida done? What are we doing? That's utter nonsense to have Florida in there.
Who's playing quarterback for him? They
got the kid from Tulane, right? Didn't he bring him with him?
Who's that? Retzlaff?
Retzlaff was it? No, it's not Retzlaff.
No, I don't.
They get?
No, it's not him.
I don't know, because I know they chased
Baylor.
Yeah, they chased DJ Lagway out of there.
Yeah,
Florida to me,
that's a mess. There's no reason for them to be in there.
That's the thing. Like, I think you can buy into the idea that they'll be able to compile some talent down there, but until I see it, like, don't put them in any top 25.
I'll tell you one that's interesting to want to be a fascinating team is going to be to follow Virginia Tech, because they're basically the Virginia Tech Nittany Lions. Like,
there's always a path in the ACC too.
There is, and he brought 20 Penn State guys with him. So I think that's a team that's going to be very, very fascinating to watch in all of this. Going to be fun. All right, good job out of you, Bake. Coming up next, I read this report, and it's hard for me to wrap my head around it, but I think it kind of tells you how desperate one of the great American companies has become. We'll get to that story coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Don't start the new year with the same old ride. Right now, score low lease payments on all 2026 models, like $149 a month for a brand new Elantra or $159 for a new Sonata. Hurry in and kick off the new year right. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit $39.95 down plus tax, title, and fees. 2-year lease with 10K miles per year. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Ends 2/2.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Wait, what?
Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny skies today, but don't let that fool you. Still bone-chilling cold with our feels like 10 to 15 below. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight with lows below zero and feels like even lower than that. And then for Thursday, mostly sunny skies with highs in the teens and feels like still well below zero. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Connect with the show on X at 971BFS. Jump in our YouTube chat or just send a raven. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and we are proudly sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler. For nearly 80 years, Easton Sawmill, they will take care of you. Tell them Bo sent you, I promise you on that. So I saw this. This happened, I guess I saw this late last night into this morning, and then I was just reminded of it. Hoops on social reporting that NBA superstar Steph Curry is aiming to sign a 10-year, $890 million deal with Nike, one of the largest athlete endorsement contracts in history. The deal includes signature shoes, apparel, global marketing rights, cementing Curry as both a basketball legend, a cultural icon, they write. He'll be joining LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Cristiano Ronaldo as Nike centerpieces. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Cristiano Ronaldo. What's the average age?
38. Yeah, I was going to say 39.
I was going to say the first number that popped in my head was 37, So the idea here, and this is something that's changed dramatically. Joshua, you're obviously quite a bit younger than me. I'm curious where this was for you.
When you were a kid hooping, how important were shoes, and what brands did the brand matter? Or were you brand agnostic?
No, the brand mattered. Now, I don't think the sneaker hype was anywhere close to where it's at right now. Like for us, the sneaker hype was what you wore to school, not what you wore on the court. But this was an era where I was an Adidas kid growing up. This was an era where like Dwight Howard had a signature shoe with them, and Tracy McGrady had a signature shoe with them, and they were cool shoes for me. So that's what I typically wore. On the football side, this is when I was coming up, that's when Under Armour had the All-American Bowl, and they were starting to blow up. So on the football side, you started to see more kids gravitating toward the Under Armour products. So the brands were always a thing. Like Nike was king for sure, but like I had my little Adidas carve out for basketball, and you started to see some younger athletes starting to choose a little bit differently than just a Nike all the time.
So I'm the target audience. My kids are the target audience for this, right? I mean, they're of age now. I've got a 14-year-old, a 12, and a 10. They are completely brand agnostic. They don't care. It makes no difference to them. I've got NBC this year he's worn New Balance and Under Armour. The New Balance are the ones that Cooper Flagg wears, but it wasn't because Cooper Flagg had them. New Balance fit his foot. I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea of like me as a kid choosing to wear New Balance, but they are. Like New Balance has come big for youth in terms of who they've got to endorse, from Otani and now Cooper Flagg. Like everything that they're doing, they really have been cutting edge of all of it. Under Armour with Steph for kids is typically the most comfortable shoe to wear for basketball. Most kids love the Steph Under Armour shoes, and they've tried to force other ones, but they usually end up in the Steph Under Armours. Go ahead, Beck.
I was going to say Under Armour shoes in general. I have a ton of Under Armour shoes. I think I got my first pair. I'm a big cheap person with shoes. Like I'll buy a bunch of shoes, but I don't want to spend more than $40 on any of them. And you can do that with Under Armour. You can find great deals. And I remember I got my first pair and I fell in love. I've probably got about 8 pairs of Under Armour shoes now. They're some of the most comfortable I've ever owned.
So the one brand, Nike still makes up part of it. Certainly.
I know the kids like wearing the Kobe's.
Kids love the Kobe's.
Yeah.
So Beamsy and Bootsy both wear Kobe's, love them, wear them all the time. The Kobe's are the shoe I still see the most of. Is the Nike Kobe's. Now, as we illustrated, Kobe's been gone for 6 years now. He's been out of the league for nearly a decade, and this illustrates my point. Nike, which was, when I was a kid, if you didn't wear Nike, it was like, really? You're settling. Like there was not even another brand that was second. There was a little window when Allen Iverson had the Reebok answering questions that some kids went to those, but primarily like you wore Jordans or some version of pennies or some Nike Flight. That was all that you wore. That's gone. Like that market share has been spread out throughout these other brands in a very, very big way. And if you do the lifestyle side of it, like you were talking about the shoes you wear to school, like NBC has 3 pair of shoes that he wears to school. One's a pair of Asics, one's a pair of New Balance, and the others are Birkenstocks.
The Birkenstocks, the Crocs. These kids love a clog.
They love that stuff, man. They love it. But so this is, to me, back to the point of this, Nike missed on a lot of basketball players.
Sure.
They had Kyrie. That went off the rails.
Yep.
They went all in on Ja Morant.
Which, tactical error. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
They missed on Ant Edwards, too.
Adidas got Ant Edwards.
Yeah.
So, like last year, NBC wore the Ant Edwards shoes. And so you think about all of the kind of like faces of the league right now, they still have Luka, but he's Jordan, not Nike.
And so Luka doesn't do anything either. That's the other part.
He doesn't.
You don't see him enough.
No. So this Steph thing is interesting to me because obviously he's at the end of his career. And so they're hoping that they're going to have to create an entire brand legacy for him going forward, which is going to be pretty fascinating. And like the Kobe re-releases, like those are the number one basketball shoes I see. Like all the Buckeye players wear those.
Oh, yeah. They say they're the most comfortable ones. Like that's the guys literally just love the way that they feel. It's interesting for Under Armour because I feel like the fall off for them has been insane. Like they had so much momentum as a brand
Yeah.
And none of it feels cool anymore. Like it used to, it was a cool brand. They were a little bit different. They tried different things with colorways. You know, they would get involved in 7-on-7s. I mentioned the All-American stuff. Like they were getting big on the AAU circuit, and it feels like they missed their window to really capture that energy that they had as a brand.
So I think they became the Cheesecake Factory. I think you try to do everything.
Yeah.
Like their niche when they launched was truly Under Armour, like tights. I mean, that was what it was.
Yeah.
That was it. And then it was football. Click, clack.
Yep.
Right? They had this one specific...
Click, clack commercials were so good.
Of course they were. And they had Cam, and they had... they spent all that money on Spieth. They landed Steph. Like, they did those things. And I just think they got too big too quick. And I think sometimes that's what happens. It's funny, like Adidas has come all the way back. New Balance is a private company. They are massive right now. I mean,
Insane.
I can't believe how popular New Balance is. You couldn't have caught me as a kid wearing New Balance, and that's all these kids want to wear now.
That's what the cool kids wear.
New Balances were mall walkers that you wore with your jorts.
It was what you used to mow the lawn.
Absolutely, they were. And I suppose this couple of minutes here, LeBron playing in Cleveland tonight with the Lakers. I don't think there's any chance that this is the last time he plays in Cleveland.
Really?
I don't. He strikes me, Joshua and Bake, he strikes me as someone who's going to want the full retirement tour. And by the way, I'm not going to begrudge him that. Kobe wanted the full retirement tour. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did a full retirement tour. Like, a lot of people do this. So I don't have a problem with it. But I think he's going to want to say, I'm signing one more year in Los Angeles. I'm signing for one more year in Cleveland. Wherever that, it's either one of those two, I think, are the only two options. I'm going to do it for one more year, and this is it. I think he's going to want the pomp and circumstance.
I tend to agree with that. First off, if he does that, I want it to be back in Cleveland. I want him to do that in Cleveland. But number two, I want him to make that decision before the wheels completely fall off. Like, he's been more injured.
He's 42.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm getting at. Like, when he's healthy and available, he's still balling. Like, the guy's ridiculous. But I feel like athletes wait a year too long every freaking time, and it bothers me because I don't want that to be the last thing I see of you.
I think that is when I've talked to Joe Thomas about this, and he played basically until the wheels came off, and he was still a first-team All-Pro last time out, or maybe he was second last time out. I think most athletes that play professional sports for a long time, when they talk to other professional athletes who try to do the same, the answer they get is play as long as you can, because once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
And so they kind of want to go to the wheels come off. The wheels are not off on LeBron. He's averaging 22, 6, and 7.
No,
on a good Lakers team.
But he's hurt more.
Dude. He is. Yeah.
That's the problem. Dude was,
for sure he's hurt more.
You know, he was bulletproof for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. Jake Trotter going to join us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Tri-State Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Tri-State Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville.
Get Eco.
Eco is giving away $500 in free repairs whenever you buy a new water heater.
Helps restore balance to the universe.
Give it away plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Rodeo fans, saddle up for the Cinch World's Toughest Rodeo, presented by RM43, February 7th at Nationwide Arena. Come early for autographs, pony rides, and more. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. The buck starts here at the Cinch World's Toughest Rodeo.
As a teacher and coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced
players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
Indeed he is, and he joins on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bo Bishop, Joshua Perry here for the program today. Buddy, we're going to stay at 12 because nobody can agree on anything. As you've been around the power brokers of the sport and just covered it over the last month or so, what do you expect will be the first major change to how we conduct all of this, if any? We know there's going to be change at some point, guardrails, whatever. What do you think will be the first thing that they're like, you know what, that's something we got to get right first?
In all of college sports right now?
College football.
Not just the playoff? Oh, God, Bo, I don't know. I mean, I think that we're getting to a point with the portal and we have to have some form of collective bargaining, and that's why I like the stuff with Ole Miss and Dabo. The more that gets out, I think the more we're going to get closer to people realizing this is not sustainable if they haven't realized it already. So I think that we've got to get to a point where, there are contracts and agreements and, some transparency with some of the contracts, which, is tough right now. And you just can't leave whenever you want. And right now I don't blame players for doing that. Coaches have been doing that forever in the sport, and players are just exercising their same right. But I was noticing this too, we're looking at players next year. It's got to be frustrating for a fan. Not so much Ohio State. We've talked about their issues with the portal.
Yeah.
But man, you have a team that's good, and all of a sudden, the bulk of that team is gone. It's kind of what happened to college basketball, where, back in the day, college basketball's heyday in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, you would have a team that you would root for over 2, 3, 4 years. Now, players come and go every year. You don't even know who's on whose team from year to year. And I think we're getting to that point in college football. So I think that has got to be the thing that gets fixed even before, how many teams are in the playoff or what the playoff paths are, how many conference games you're playing. The big issue in college football right now is the fact that, there's no rules. It's just open season across the board.
When you hear somebody say it out loud, you're like, I just have to laugh. I mean, just reaction to it is like, you're right. Yeah, there isn't. And to your point, the Dabo stuff, Josh and I were talking about that. I don't know that anything's going to come of it, Jake.
No, nobody's in charge. Nobody's in charge. There's no commissioner. We don't even have owners like we do in the NFL. We have commissioners. We have ADs. We have presidents. We have regents. We have coaches. Now we have agents everywhere. We have agents representing both sides of a dispute. Like in the case of Washington, where the head coach and the quarterback who's trying to leave are represented by the same agent. I mean, it's just insane. And so I think that has got to be the thing that gets solved, because everybody's just going to get – we're already to the point everybody's exhausted by the process. And they tried to, nickel and dime corrections. Okay, we'll change the portal, till – we'll have two portals or portal windows. We'll have one. But, again, until you have agreements that are enforceable, which we don't have right now, then it's not going to really make that much of a difference.
All right. So I guess my question is, what do you think the best way to get there is? Because I know there's this push and they're lobbying the people in Washington. Obviously, those folks have a lot on their plate. I know there's been conversations about maybe the Big Ten and the SEC and some of the power conferences taking back rules and enforcement to the conference office. But even then, like it feels like they might have some difficulty getting the job done. What do you see as the best path forward to actually get to a place where rules are enforceable?
Yeah, I mean, I think we need an NFL model where there is, an office that everyone reports to. That, I mean, like the college, what is it called? The College Sports Commission. People are just blatantly, they're just like, we're not doing that. People are just, we're not doing it. We're not doing that. All right, well. Everybody said that was going to be enforceable. Everybody's going to sign on, or they were going to get blocked out. That fell apart in like a week. So you've got to have some teeth behind it, and we're just so far away from that. I mean, if you're relying on Congress to solve this, good luck to you.
Yeah, they're not. They're not. There's no way. I mean, you're not getting anything done on that side of it. It's going to take real leadership.
Don't ask me for the solutions. I don't have them. I'm just pointing out the problem.
Here's the other thing, guys. That is. And I've been a proponent of the NFL model for years, a decade. Anyone who's listened regularly knows that. Like, to me, that was the only way to really control it. But I think the NIL component of this, that's the thing that I think a lot of fans don't understand. That's separate.
Yes.
And that's not ever going away. So even if you get an NFL model and you have salary cap and you have all of these things, you are still going to have boosters compensating players to play at institutions. That's not going to change. Collectives, I don't think, are going away, because what's going to come down to is, well, I need this guy to jump in we have a contract, or it'll just go back to high school recruiting. Now you're just going to pay kids to sign on the line, which is dotted out of high school. Like, that's where that money's going to go. That money, to me, fellas, is going nowhere. And there's no way to ever police that now that genie's out of the bottle.
When I can tell you talk to agents who represent players, schools are already circumventing all of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I'm not going to say who or what player, but like, you get paid under the table still, like it's always been. Like, that's already happening, and everybody knows it. And now to compete, you may have to think about doing it yourself. So it's a total mess. It's an even bigger mess than the Browns coaching search, if we want to put this into context.
Yikes. I mean, but to that point, there is a conversation about the schools down south, and maybe they don't have the money to keep up. And somebody brought this idea to me that they would want to be the types of people to install a cap, because they would go right back to paying people under the table. And it just feels like it's this thing that's never ending, and there's not a great solution to it. I did want to change directions, because Bo and I had a bit of a disagreement here looking at one of these way too early top 25s. And I think we both agree that LSU had great portal class, very talented. Our disagreement came, I think, a little bit on Lane Kiffin. I'm not sure if I have great belief in him. Where do you stand on Lane Kiffin as a coach that can win a title at LSU?
Well, I mean, like, he's going to have great players. LSU's always had great players, not just this year, but last year they had a great portal class too, even though it didn't manifest on the field. The reason Lane went to LSU is because you're just going to have top 5 talent relative to everyone else in the country almost every year. So, yeah, he can win a national championship there. I mean, he had a lot of success at Ole Miss. I think he's gotten better as an in-game coach over the years from his experience. I don't think there's any doubt that Lane Kiffin could win a national championship at LSU. Now, will he? We'll see, but he got Ole Miss into the playoff this year, and that was a very talented team. A lot of good players on that team. They were talented last year as well. There's no question that LSU is one of the teams that can win a national championship. Although, what Indiana showed, there's a lot of teams that could maybe win a national championship in a way that was a little bit more exclusive, 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, we were just doing like a way too early top 25, buddy, and you look at it and you just go like Indiana was 5, and I'm like, well, that's just a bet on Cignetti, because it's a whole new roster. Miami, kind of the same. It's kind of just a big bet on that, and you start having that conversation of like how many teams could win a national title, and it gets pretty long. And I think that probably, while all of the mess is there, the idea that you can go into a season, get upwards of a dozen teams who you could say, well, maybe they could do it too. I think all of those things probably win. You mentioned the Browns. I'll let you have a couple of minutes on that.
Okay.
You covered that operation for a long time. What do you sense is going on right now in terms of getting a coach hired?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to the owner. And from what I have heard, they've been pushing, when I say they, Andrew Berry, been pushing some of these young up-and-coming offensive minds, Grant Udinski from Jacksonville, Nathan Schillhouse from the Rams, who was actually an offensive coordinator at Iowa State, was a quarterback, 4-star quarterback for Illinois back in the day. That's how old I am. I remember when he was playing, and got to know Nate a little bit when he was the OC at Iowa State. It doesn't seem like that's the direction Jimmy wants to go. My sense is that his priority is keeping Schwartz, whether as a DC or making him the head coach. I think, and I know for a fact, candidates have been turned off by the notion the Browns are trying to make whoever the coach is take on Schwartz as the DC. So if you're Udinski, you're, what is he, 30? You're coming to a situation that, it's a challenge being a head coach of the Browns. And now you've got this guy who's been passed over as your DC and you don't know him. And, there's a potential for some, I'm not saying Schwartz would do this, but I can understand the concern, combustibility, undermining all of that. And I don't know. I know Todd Monken really impressed them, and I know Deep Podesta was a fan of Monken the one year he was here in 2019. He's probably still the third guy they're looking at here, but maybe Schwartz would be more amenable to working with somebody like that than a 35-year-old. So I just know, they had a Zoom with Schillhouse yesterday. They haven't made an offer to anyone the last I heard. So this is not the candidates. This is the Browns trying to figure out what they want to do. And the longer this goes on, the worse it kind of looks for them in the eyes of the fan base. And you can just tell there's a lot of angst with the fan base about the way this process has gone. We're almost in a month into it. And, I don't know. It just kind of feels like more of the same, right, guys?
Could be today. We'll see. We'll see how all of that shakes
yesterday,
out.
But yeah, it's got to be today, right? Like, if it's not today, I'm going to be really confused.
Yeah, there's nothing prohibiting from it happening today. So you would think it would.
They just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Good stuff.
Okay, guys. See you later.
There he goes, Jake Trotter, senior college football reporter at ESPN on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do a little thing or not a thing coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File in the Credit Karma app.
This is the Daily Show with Coach Jake Diebler, brought to you by Encova Insurance. Players being ready. The Penn State game certainly was a great example of that because of injuries and whatnot. It has to be what you preach and what you hope the guys answer to when they're called upon, Jake.
Yeah, we talk a lot about and prepare to handle adversity. And I thought we had some guys step up individually, but collectively just really proud of how we handled the adversity prior to the game and during the game.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the court. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. Basketball is full of challenging shots, and life can be too. With Encova, you don't have to do it alone. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
Jake, on the subject of guys being ready, nobody exemplified that more than Taysom Chapman, the way he played. And I know that what his offensive game has been was complemented also by some of the other effort he gave on the other end of the floor the other night.
Yeah, it was great to see him aggressive offensively and great to see the ball go through the hoop for him. But, I thought this was his best defensive game, too. Got a steal, did a good job protecting the rim for us one time. And so that was a big step forward for him and really encouraging and hopefully something he can really build upon.
When guys had multiple injuries like that, is there a mental obstacle they have to overcome?
I don't know. I mean, I think our guys, were dialed into the task at hand, and, we focused on who we had available and, how we were going to adjust, because it certainly was an adjustment. I think for the guys who are out, there's a challenge of staying locked in, adding value, energy, communicating, all that. And I thought the guys that were in did a great job. I thought the guys that were out did a great job.
Okay, there's the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone. Now through February 2nd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Or lease a new gas-powered RAV4 LE for $299 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
If you have been in a car accident in the past and have settled your case, I may have some good news. Some unethical lawyers have people known as runners who come directly to your hospital room or home and solicit your case. It's a disbarable offense. Anyone that would hire these scumbags needs to have their heads examined. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Now for the good news. If this happened to you, we will sue these lowlifes and fight to get all your fees back. And then look and see if these bottom feeders also malpractice your case and sue them for that too. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Visit forthepeople.com for a free consultation or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. If someone does this to you, call the Bar Association and report them. Let's fight these bums. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial Pound Law. Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a first Friday. Hit it, Bake.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Well, it's not every day that we get to start thing or not a thing with breaking news. And not only do we have breaking news on the NFL front, Bo, you don't know about this. We have breaking news on the Eric Reeser trip home front, too. But let's start in the NFL.
Yeah.
Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter reporting the Cleveland Browns are hiring former Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken as their next head football coach. Thing or not a thing?
That's a massive thing. I know Todd really well. He spent a lot of time in the Cleveland Browns Daily radio studio in 2019 when he was the offensive coordinator when Freddie Kitchens was the head coach. Needless to say, he did not see eye to eye with everything that was happening with that team in 2019. Todd is a brilliant play caller. He's an incredible offensive mind. There is a level of straight talk with him that is immediate and known. And if it is indeed Todd Monken and Jim Schwartz, that's going to be accountability cubed on that side of things. So I like Todd a lot as a person. I thought he was really good at Georgia as the offensive coordinator there, and I think he was the offensive coordinator in Baltimore when Lamar had his two best seasons. It is probably not what most people thought. I think most people thought it would be a young offensive mind. Todd will turn 60 I want to say relatively soon. So it's a little bit of a different tone than I think some people thought. But I think his familiarity in the building and people being comfortable with who he is as a dude, maybe those things were the things that ended up putting him over the edge.
I personally felt like the next coach of the Browns should have been a guy who was maybe more veteran, had been around the league for a little bit longer. Like, we're talking about Shieldhouse and we're talking about Udinski, and these guys are my age. I could not imagine myself being in charge of an NFL franchise right now. And I get their path and what they believe in themselves, but there are a lot of things that need to be tightened up around there, no doubt. And you've got a quarterback situation that you're going to be filtering through and trying to get on the right path, all the different things. So from that standpoint, I like it. And exactly what you said, if you can get a guy like Monken who's well-respected and has great philosophy scheme-wise, has great philosophy in terms of how he approaches the locker room, and you can keep Schwartz around with that, who already has the ear of the players, and those guys really enjoy being around him. I mean, it helps when you're trying to flip things around to have those two types of personalities speaking to the guys from the front of the room. So very intrigued by it, but I think having a veteran made a lot of sense to me in this case.
I will say this, Monken was my first choice to be the offensive coordinator here at Ohio State. I would have really liked that. And second choice, I would have had him as the Browns head coach. If they can keep Schwartz, I think this is a pretty good hire. It'll just be interesting to see what they do with quarterback here moving forward, which was going to be the case with whoever they hired.
Yeah, I mean, just offensively, the roster needs a big overhaul.
Yeah.
I mean, so many things. The offensive line needs to be completely rebuilt. The receiving core needs to be completely rebuilt. They have to figure out what they're doing at quarterback. I mean, there's a lot there that needs to be sorted. So,
all right, so let's move to the breaking news on our very own Eric Reeser. I sent him a text a little bit ago, and I asked him if there was any updates on his status and if he was still in Charlotte. This is the latest update, and for those that don't know, our guy Reese, his flight got canceled last night in Charlotte as he was heading home from Florida. Got a car, driving from Charlotte now. Thing or not a thing?
Wow. I told him to be careful with that, man, because the roads are going to get really dicey. I've never driven from here to Charlotte. Does that take you through West Virginia?
It does.
Yeah, it does. I've done that trip before.
I think it's, about 7 hours, right about? Maybe a little less?
Yeah, I think right about, because I used to drive to Columbia, South Carolina to go see my grandmother. I think that was about a 9-ish hour trip. So I'm thinking 7-ish.
I would think years ago, maybe that would be dicey. I would think right now it would be okay because most of those roads through West Virginia, they've kind of redone when you're not on the freeway. A lot of it you are on the freeway, so I would think that the freeways are good by now. And then I don't know how he would go, if he would go some of those back routes or if he would just go 33 all the way straight through. So
I remember driving to Greenbrier a couple of years ago in the summer, and it was downpouring, and it was dicey, very dicey. So just be careful, young Reese. Be careful.
Wow.
All right, back to your regularly scheduled thing or not a thing. Last week we talked about the college football playoff, making some tweaks to its selection process that was going to guarantee the top 4 Power 4 conference champions buys into the playoff rather than the 5 highest rated conference champions getting in. Well, with that, though, they took away the guaranteed spot for the group of 6 conference champions. So it is not guaranteed that if you are a group of 6 champion that you could be that next team in. If there's a team that somehow lost in their conference championship game but was still higher rated, they would be the team that goes into the playoff of the group of 6 rather than a conference champion. A lot of the group of 6 leaders are kind of worried this is going to devalue their conference championship game. So they plan to discuss that topic later this year and maybe ask for a change in the language of the college football playoff moving forward. Thing or not a thing?
Well, yeah, you know why. Listen, this is a big thing, but not because of what you just read. It's a big thing because I think it's the first step towards the elimination of conference championship games, period.
Okay.
I think this is a bridge to that.
it's testing the waters. It's like the beta test. And this is, by the way, for all the craziness with Tony Petitti and how he's been moving with his proposals for the postseason, part of his thought process has just been to get off of conference championships anyway, and 24 teams would absolutely do that. What's in this college football playoff with the group of 5, and I don't know how much, group of 6, whatever you want to call it, I don't know how much value those games had in the first place, but it's definitely moving away from that. The thing that stands out to me in all of this is we learn on Twitter through the reporters who actually read through the documentation that Notre Dame's guaranteed a spot in a 12-team playoff if they're ranked inside the top 12, and that they changed the structure for who gets the auto bids. And now we're learning, because none of the administrators read this. Okay, this is what I'm getting at. Is we find this out. It was a surprise to a lot of people who signed off on the damn documentation.
You're right.
That's the thing that stands out to me in all of this chaos of the postseason, is the people who are building it don't even read what's going into it.
No, dude. It's like an Apple agreement, right?
Yeah, you just
going,
click
yes,
agree.
Yes.
Yep,
No
check the box. Scroll through, check the box. I'm good.
No idea what you signed up for. All right, final hour of the program coming up next. Obviously, the big news in the National Football League, and here locally, the Cleveland Browns have a new head coach. His name is Todd Monken. We will get into that, get into your Hey Guys questions. Still time to get those in at 971-BFS. Also in the YouTube chat. Get your officially endorsed coming up at 11:45. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can save $20 on your first pickup or delivery order with your digital coupon. See site for details. Restrictions apply. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Start the year moving, not hurting. If joint pain is holding you back, listen up. Hi, I'm Tybus Powell with QC Kinetics. There's a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on pause. Dr. Tesner and the other medical pros at QC Kinetics here in Columbus deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, shoulders, back. Instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines you for months, these treatments happen right in the office and you go about your day. Simple procedure that can deliver big life-changing results. Skip the pain, skip the invasive surgery. Imagine this instead. You're moving better, stronger, planning the year you actually want. Game-changer regenerative treatment from QC Kinetics. January is supposed to be your clean slate, so make it one. Call now for your free consultation. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr.
Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Baker. Breaking news coming out of Cleveland. The Browns have hired Todd Monken to be their next head coach. The 60-year-old Monken was the OC for the Baltimore Ravens last year. He was also the offensive coordinator for the Browns in 2019. Military appreciation tonight at Nationwide. The Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the Philadelphia Flyers at 7:30. Yesterday, the Blue Jackets activated defenseman Denton Matejchuk off IR. They also placed forward Zach Aston Reese and Brendan Gaunce on waivers. Pre-game coverage here on The Fan tonight gets underway at 7. The Cleveland Cavaliers hosting LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers tonight at 7. And Miami of Ohio improved to 21-0. They beat UMass 86-84. The Red Hawks, one of only 2 undefeated teams in college basketball. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com.
The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Jody, Shelley coming up in about 29 minutes from now. We will get to Hey Guys, get you officially endorsed as well. But the breaking news here in the last 15 minutes, the Cleveland Browns have settled on Todd Monken to be their next head coach. Monken most recently spent time as Baltimore as offensive coordinator of the Ravens. Before that, he was the offensive coordinator at Georgia for a couple of national championships there. Prior to that, of course, he was the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns in 2019 when Freddie Kitchens was the head coach. I know Todd pretty well. Talked to him a lot. And I think from an accountability, straight talk perspective, he is going to be it's going to be a whole new day from that perspective. I do think him and Jim Schwartz would work very well together. They're kind of cut from a very, very similar cloth. He's a very direct person. You ask him a direct question, you're going to get a very direct answer. That will be, I think, a breath of fresh air a little bit up there, certainly. The other thing on Todd is he is brilliant offensively. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking for proof of that, look what happened at Georgia when he got down there. Look what happened in Baltimore with Lamar, where he really put up his 2 best seasons ever as a quarterback under Todd's stewardship. So the hire is one that I think maybe for some is a surprise, but I think when you have the full context of it, maybe it's a little bit more understanding. Jeremy Fowler broke it down pretty succinctly. Of ESPN, the Browns notified Rams assistant Nate Shieldhouse this AM that they were going in a different direction. He plans to stay with the Rams and be a factor in the next cycle. We'll see what happens with Jim Schwartz, but one source told me that Todd Monken and Schwartz had similarities as a coach and could work well together. So there you go on that.
What do you say to Browns fans right now that feel like this process was unnecessary to get to the result that they got to? Like, I think a lot of people, seeing how long it took, some of the names that were interviewed maybe preferred to go with the younger offensive mind, and to spend this time to land on Todd Monken, who you and I both agree is a good coach, but maybe is a little bit underwhelming in terms of winning the press conference. Like, what would you say to those people?
Well, what would be a name that you, other than John Harbaugh or Sean McDermott, who seems like he doesn't want to coach, like who in this cycle would you go up and go, oh, they got a dude?
I think people are enamored with the idea of the young whiz kid. You know, I think folks are very much like, oh, get me the young dude who's innovative, who's creative, who shows his ankles on the sideline. It's the phrase I'm using. And instead of a old school football guy who brings his big boy gutchies to work.
Yeah, the thing I would say is that nobody knows anything. I mean, honest to God. Like, do you, like, if, let's just do the Shieldhouse one since he was in the mix on this and one of the finalists. Like, do you know that Nate Shieldhouse can lead men?
I have no idea.
No clue. I don't either. I don't either. I mean, he was at Iowa State up until 2 years ago. He'd only called plays 1 year at Iowa State, and then he was with the Rams for the last 2 years as the pass game coordinator. Do I know if Grant Yudinsky can lead men? I have no idea. I mean, he's a 30-year-old. I don't know. He doesn't even call plays in Jacksonville, so I don't know if he can do it or not. I don't know if Todd can do it. I don't know if he can reach young. We don't know. I mean, that's the thing on this, man. Like, I'm pretty sure I have this right, but I don't think Sean McDermott was the first choice in Buffalo when they hired him. I want to say the first choice in that cycle might have been Hugh Jackson. It might have been, but I know that he wasn't the first choice. He was not the first choice. So the thing to remember about that is that nobody knows anything in these things. Not to say that Monken's going to have a 15-year run. I don't know. Nobody knows. But the idea that somebody knows absolutely that, like, Mike LaFleur is going to be a great head coach, you just don't know. Like, I don't know how good of a head coach Mike McDaniel was. He's a really good play caller, but that thing got off the rails. And he didn't win a playoff game, and everyone's enamored with his brilliance, but there's no playoff wins in Miami for him. So I look at Liam Cohen last year. He had the worst press conference of anybody. Who can forget Duval? Well, how did it work?
This is what
How did it work?
This is what
Urban won the press conference. How did it work on the field? Like, you know, nobody knows.
I would say this to any Browns fans questioning this. I would say I don't care about winning a press conference. I care about winning. There's a lot of good coaches out there that maybe didn't win the press conference. I don't know if Bill Belichick ever won a press conference.
Yeah.
But he won a lot of football games. The other thing I would say, and you don't know, Bo, you're right, especially with some of these young guys, you just don't know. But I think this Browns coaching job entails so much to it that I don't want a guy that hasn't had a lot of experience.
Agreed.
I want a guy with a bunch of experience, and Todd Monken may not have the head coaching experience, but he's been in Baltimore with Jim Harbaugh. He's been at Georgia and won a national championship there, and the Browns obviously know him. He was in the building before. There was something they saw about him that they liked, that they thought could help pull them out of this.
He's a total straight shooter.
I think they need
pulls
it.
no punches.
Yeah.
He's a lot like Schwartz in that. You ask him a question, you're going to get an answer.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be hemming and hawing around anything. Like, you're going to get that. And now the question is, you know, how do you rebuild that offense and all of that? So at least they have a plan now for that in terms of what that can look like. And he's got to put a staff together, obviously, on the offensive side of the ball. We'll see. The plan all along, Schwartz is under contract. The plan all along was that was going to be the case, but we'll see, you know, where that goes, because you just never know in these things. So going to be interesting, to say the least. So now two open, Arizona and
the Raiders.
Buffalo hired Joe Brady.
The Raiders.
Well, so do that one. Like, Joe Brady versus Todd Monken.
I mean, I feel like a lot of this is geared toward winning the press conference. I think there are plenty of people that look at, you know, the Sean McVays of the world and think that that is a process that you can replicate. I feel like we felt that when Arthur Smith was announced and people were like, couldn't you have gone out and gotten somebody a little bit more innovative, a little bit younger? Couldn't you have elevated a guy who was on staff who had a little bit more juice? And I agree with what you're saying, but I think that people just have this thought process. It's like the shiny toys things. It's what we do as Americans. We want things that shine. We want things that are newer. And the thing that maybe is a little bit more tried and true and maybe a little bit more steady but not as sexy is not something that people want to get excited about.
I just think it's hilarious. Like, people, if you're going to the mat going like, oh my God, how could they not hire Nate Shieldhouse? Like, the people on social media that are saying that, like, do you even know who Nate Shieldhouse is?
Yeah. I feel like part
Have you
of
heard
that,
him talk?
Part of
like,
that
I covered 2 of his games. Actually, I covered 3 of his games. He started for Illinois, 1 in 11, 1 in 13. And by the way, it was the 11 game when it was single wing. Braxton went 1 of 4 in that game. They won 17-7 in 2011. Braxton threw it 4 times. They won 17-7 over there in 2011. I remember both those games were freezing. But yeah, so like, nobody knows what these guys are going to do. You don't have a clue. There's just no such thing as a sure thing in this stuff. And so Monken is known. I know he's offensively brilliant, and I know he's accountability plus. So I think all of those factors probably pushed him over the top on this thing a little bit. And so we'll see where it goes from here. We'll do Hey Guys coming up next as well, but let's get into it right now. Time for a little Hey Guys. Hit it.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag #HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
So you guys asked for 2 Hey Guys segments, and you guys have been killing it. And we had a bunch here. Unfortunately, the Todd Monken news came in. Let's go to Jeff Rimmer's middle half. Hey, guys. Tepid take alert. Snowblowers are worthless. Never owned one, but see people walking behind them at a snail's pace, and it always leaves a thin layer of snow on the ground that freezes. Your thoughts?
So I don't use one. I use a leaf blower. That's what I use. Now, the only problem with the leaf blower is you have to do it more often. Like, you kind of got to do it every hour to make sure that the snow doesn't pile up. And then you also have to have cold, dry snow, which is what we have now.
Right.
So, like, now it's easy. Like, I just hit it with that leaf blower, and it's hyper powered, and it blows it right off up to about 4 or 5 inches. Then it starts to get a little dicey. You just have to hit it quite a bit. I'm probably with him on the snow blower. I find them to be a mess as well, and I think they take way too long. But now, if I'm riding on one, that's a little different. But if I'm pushing one, I'm kind of with him. I think he might be right.
Does the blower, the leaf blower, do you get snow that blows back on you?
No.
See, you're
Dude,
a pro.
This leaf blower I have, man, this sucker, it's like a jet engine.
Oh, man. I'm an old school shovel guy, just for the record. So snowblower to me does feel overrated, but also I'm 31 years old and I've got plenty of energy, and I'll take the time to do it. Maybe ask me 10, 15 years from now, I might have to transition out of it.
So I'm guessing in a snow like we just had, the snow blower is pretty handy, but we don't usually have snow like that. My complaints about the snowblower when I've used them is the thin layer of snow it leaves. I feel like you do have to go back and shovel that behind, although that's not really that hard or difficult. The other thing is the damn snow always blowing right back in my face. It seems like whatever way I have to change the direction of that thing to get it out of my way, it's blowing right in my face. So that always ticks me off. I don't like that at all.
That is hilarious.
This one from Cardinal in the YouTube chat. Hey, guys, like Carl Spackler, the Dalai Lama says you will be present at any game played during your lifetime on your deathbed. What would you choose and why?
Oh, my gosh. Like, I mean, it's big game on campus. I mean, I suppose like a pristine Ohio State Michigan game with a somehow late November high of like 52 and sunny, or 48 and sunny, that would probably be the one. But you could sign me up for any big game on campus. Like, I would. It's not rare that I've been to a lot of games in my life now, and so I don't find the need to want to go anymore. But like, I'm really considering going to Austin this year.
Yeah,
like I want to see Ohio State in Austin. Like, that is, I love the energy of that. So, big game on campus to me is still the best thing in sports, JP.
I'm there with you. We traveled my first year with NBC. We were on campus every week. It was, I mean, you can't replicate that type of energy. To answer this question, take me back in time to 2013 at the Big House. Victorious Buckeye team, high drama toward the end of the game. Like, the last thing I could take in, that's what I want.
I got to tell you, I did not have it in the bingo card that the game you'd want to see in your deathbed was the one where your buddy Tyvis Powell was the hero.
So
I didn't have that.
Inside baseball on that one, we ran a blitz. Tyvis was supposed to blitz. They come out with 3 detached, so we'd make a switch call. So I'm supposed to go up and under, and Joey's supposed to rush the edge. Well, dumbass Joshua just runs up the edge. So I would have had a clear sack had I actually done my job. And Tyvis saved me.
Oh, my God. Save the audio.
I tell him all the time, like, as much as I get on Tyvis, he saved me on that one.
Also, that was Braxton Miller and the Cocaine Whites, which was just ridiculous.
The Coke Whites were...
They were unreal.
Unreal.
They really were.
So games I've seen, there's 2 that I would go back to. One is the 2002 National Championship game. And the other is that 1991 February... Jimmy Jackson, Indiana, 2-4 at St. John Arena. God, I would love to be present in that one. The 2 that I can think of off the top of my head that I was not at, that I didn't see in person in my life before my time, I would want to go back to the Bird Magic National Championship game. Mm-hmm. And the other one is the Miracle on Ice.
So, yeah, Bird Magic was played in Salt Lake City. That game wasn't even broadcast live. And neither was the Miracle on Ice. They were both tape-delayed games. So nobody saw those games live. Anytime people say, I was watching that. No, you weren't. You weren't watching either one of them. We'll continue with the Hey Guys after this quick timeout. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Everybody, it's Berm here. Jeremy Birmingham from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan, and I have the least exciting update I can give you. Awaken 180 is still working. That is actually fairly inconvenient because I don't have anything dramatic to complain about. I'm 5 weeks in, I'm down over 30 pounds, and there hasn't been a single plot twist. There hasn't been a stall. There's no mystery week where everything stops making sense. I simply follow the plan, I eat what I'm supposed to eat, and the scale does what it's designed to do too. Weight loss usually feels like a guessing game where you're constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, but Awaken 180 doesn't. There's structure, there's coaching, and there's zero need for motivational speeches in the mirror. I'm not negotiating with myself. I'm not starting over every Monday. I'm moving forward, enjoying the ride, feeling a whole lot better, and watching years of bad habits quietly get undone. Do what we all did and make your own 180 with Awaken 180. Go online at awaken180weightloss.com, 844-346-1800. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Winters can be brutal here in the Columbus area, and if you're cold in your home with the heat running constantly, it's probably your old, inefficient windows that are the problem. The good news is that Window Nation can help you get through this season because in the last 20 years, they've installed over 3 million energy-efficient windows nationally, and they're trusted by thousands of Columbus homeowners to keep their homes comfy and cozy year-round, while also saving them money on monthly utility bills. And right now, they're more affordable during the Window Nation Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale. It's a great time to replace all the windows in your home. Plus, you could get your windows with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. You'll be surprised by the dramatic difference new windows will make. Your home will be better protected against the weather, feel warm and dry, and you'll love the lower utility bills. The pros at Window Nation will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 sale going on now. The sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com right now. Window Nation, a proud partner of Ohio State Athletics.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny skies today, but don't let that fool you. Still bone-chilling cold with our feels like 10 to 15 below. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight with lows below zero and feels like even lower than that. And then for Thursday, mostly sunny skies with highs in the teens and feels like still well below zero. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tybus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody. Work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Jody, Shelley coming up in about 12 minutes from now. Time for a continuation of your Hey Guys. Go ahead, Bake.
All right, we're going to head over to Twitter for this one, the great Snagglepuss, and it's a shame that Reese isn't here for this one. Gentlemen, I'm a big fan of how Reeser says belt to ass because he says it very emphatically. Can we start a belt to ass moment of the week from you guys on the show?
You know, for the longest time, my kids always do BTA. They say, like NBC says it all the time and has for years. I always thought it was beat that ass as opposed to belt to ass. I didn't actually realize it was belt to until I saw Michael Irvin doing it. So I'm so out of touch that it took a 60-year-old man for me to realize that it was belt as opposed to beat that. I'm for it. I mean, I think you could do that. I don't have any problem with that, doing a BTA of the week.
Bo, I'm so old, I didn't even realize that belt to ass was a thing outside of Eric Reeser and that it had a shortcut with BTA. That's how old I am.
It's always, like, it's probably for 3 years BTA, but I didn't realize until Irv what it was.
Big fan of the belt. You know, my input on this is your guys' show, so you can decide, but that would be a fun segment. I would listen for sure.
Back to the YouTube chat. This is from Shan. Hey, guys. We all know Bo is Dad Coach of the Year. JP, do you plan on or want to coach your kids in the future? Bake, will you ever coach a kids team? If yes, which sports and why?
So I was a coach once upon a time. I coached high school track and field right here in Central Ohio at Westerville North High School. Enjoyed my time as a coach. It's something I want to get back into now that I'm back in town. I'd love to coach my kids. It depends on what they want to play, but I'll show up. I'll be supportive dad. I'll stay out the way, right? Most of these kids are just out there for recreation with their friends, and I get that, but I think it'd be a lot of fun.
It is, and it's, I tell anybody who wants to do it, and if you're even, and I know you won't be on the fence, you're going to be all in, but it is some of the most rewarding things that I've done in my life. Not just the ability to spend, like with my kids right now, an extra 6 hours a week with them in practice with my two littles, and I've been doing that for years. I mean, since NBC was a third grader, so I've been coaching them in basketball, I've coached them in football. I don't do lacrosse because a man's got to know his limitations, but I do the other ones. And it's not just that, but it's the ability to affect young people and make them fall in love with a sport is really cool. I do think one thing that gets lost a little bit is a lot of people say, well, at young ages, like winning doesn't matter. And I'm not some idiot who's out there fighting referees trying to win. Like, have some common sense. But you do need to have success. And so make sure you choose the right leagues for your talent level. And especially if you're going to do any sort of travel stuff, like, make sure you know, like, what level of tournaments you're putting an AAU team in, for example, if the first time you're coaching it. Because nobody learns anything when you get beat 80-10.
Right.
So you got to kind of find the middle ground on that. Joshua, the coolest part of it, though, honestly, what I love the most is the car rides.
Oh, yeah.
So phones down, and it's just me and them on the way to a game, on the way back from a game. NBC, I would always sit in the front seat no matter what. It would be a full breakdown of the game. Beamsy will, if he plays poorly or if his team loses, he sits in the back, and he doesn't say a word. Not a word. It's amazing. So,
oh, man.
But it's the car rides.
We used to do that. My dad would take me to track meets. I ran summer track for years, and we'd be all over, and we did the same thing. And it's, you remember the events, you remember trophies, but like those moments of just being able to have my dad's full attention for 6 hours back and forth in a car was awesome.
So it was probably 20 years ago, maybe more. I did help coach a 6th grade girls basketball team one year. And I believe we won the championship in that 6th grade girls rec league basketball or whatever. I would not be opposed to coaching youth sports again. I just don't think I have the time.
If you ever get the time, do it. It's really fun. It's really fun. And most of the people are good. There's a lot of bad operators out there, mostly parents. But for the most part, most people want the right things.
This one coming from Scotty Phoenix, so no surprise he takes a shot at Michigan. He says, hey guys, cold weather and chili go together like Michigan football and cheating. Are you guys fully loaded chili people with cheese, crackers, hot sauce, etc., or rather just dive in plain?
So I will cut up an avocado and throw it on top of chili. I'm a very light cheese guy, and I'm not a cracker guy. And I don't do sour cream, so pretty minimal. And I don't do noodles, so that's the way I do it. That's the way I prefer it. Now I always make sure all the accoutrements are there when I make it, so that my wife and kids can do it however they want. But that's the way I do it.
I do not consume a lot of chili. I'm actually allergic to beans, so a little bit of a obstacle there in my consumption. But Skyline, I'm in, and I don't do the spaghetti. Get me the conies. They're not that big. I'll knock out, and Tyvis gets on me like he doesn't eat crazy, but I'll knock out 6 in a sitting and not even think twice about it. I do not care. This is one of my favorite things to eat.
They're small.
They're small. You just pop them, you're good.
For you.
I've only had Skyline once in my life.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I like you, JP. I'm not the biggest chili person. If I do have chili, though, I definitely load it up with cheese and the oyster crackers. I think the oyster crackers is the best part.
John Dorsey, and he would have absolutely no problem with me telling this, but I'd never seen this before. He would take, in the cafe with the Browns, he would take a bag of Fritos and put it in a bowl and then put the chili on top of the Fritos.
Like the chili pie.
Is that what it is? Yeah. So that's how he would do it. And then he would load it with onions and cheese on top, but it had a whole layer of Fritos underneath.
A lot of places will sell that, Bo. They'll have the bag of Fritos and they'll dump the chili and cheese in there, and they call it the chili pie. So
yeah.
This one from the face of Ohio. Hey guys, you're snowed in for a month with no way out. You have enough food, water, electricity, and heat to ride it out, but no live TV events available. What would be your months-long binge watch?
So you need to find something that's, so I can only, I guess the root of the question here is he wants something that, so I'm only going to watch this.
Correct. Well, I mean, there might be a couple things, because for a month, I don't know if there's any TV show you could just do for a whole month.
I would probably do, I mean, provided my kids aren't around, I would probably hit like some of those. Like Dylan's doing this right now. He's rewatching The Sopranos for the first time. So what I love about those is like whether it's Sopranos, The Wire, even Game of Thrones, Mad Men, Breaking Bad, it's massive in scope. You're talking about 7 episodes. You're talking about 100 hours of television. That's something that would just take a long bit of time. And all of those are A+ perfect things. So any of those would work. And I'm always jealous when I hear like somebody say, I've never seen The Wire. I've never seen
The Wire.
Okay. You have a homework assignment, and when the kids go to bed, episode 1, season 1 starts tonight.
Okay.
I mean, it should be taught in school. They should show it. You'd be smarter from it. But like all of those are just incredible. Incredible stuff. And they're timeless. They all hold up incredibly well.
That's what I mean. I watched The Sopranos, and I did it obviously late. My parents watched it when it was on HBO, and I loved every moment of it. So I'm waiting for the right time to dive into The Wire, so I can make sure that I can give it my full attention. For this one, if I have to binge watch, I'm FaceTiming Matty Ice, and we're starting from season 1, episode 1 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we're going to watch all of the seasons all the way through. Because if it's one thing I love, it's live sports. If I can't watch that, I'm watching reality TV.
The manliest of dudes.
This Wire thing that I'm going to get you starting, and I'm telling you, start it as soon as you can. You will not. You're going to want to just go one episode after the next. I just have enriched your life.
Okay.
I believe in such a positive way, buddy. In such a positive way. Bake, what would you go with?
So if it's something I've seen before, 2.5 Men, I watch that all the time anyway. NYPD Blue is something I think I would like to go back and watch. The first thing I think of things that I have not watched would either be Friday Night Lights or The Sopranos. Those would be the top of my list.
I can't believe you haven't seen either one of those. I mean, Friday Night Lights is perfection.
I've never seen it either.
Oh, my God. Jeez.
I mean, he was busy.
Holy cow.
He was busy tackling Wolverines and moving on to the NFL.
It's been 10 years, though. Like, you've got time now, buddy. Come on.
I've been catching up on Housewives for the last decade.
Get your brain in the right direction here. Get rid of these housewives. Those two are both just incredible stuff. Oh, my goodness. Dami and I were actually thinking about one time doing like a Sopranos rewatch and then doing podcasts with it, along with it. So maybe you can time that up with that.
All right.
We'll do a little bit of Shelley time in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Don't start the new year with the same old ride. Right now, score low lease payments on all 2026 models, like $149 a month for a brand new Elantra or $159 for a new Sonata. Hurry in and kick off the new year right. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit, $39.95 down plus tax, title, and fees. 2-year lease with 10K miles per year. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Ends 2/2.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The Gloves. Shelley time.
All right, we're going to get to some hockey with Mr. Shelley, I promise you. But as a proud Northern fighter, a proud Canadian, this was on my mind. So my kids were off Monday. Okay, fine. We had a lot of snow that needed to be cleared. They were off yesterday because of how cold it was. And I was curious, like, what does Canada do? Because you were in Edmonton, and it's regularly below zero air temp this time of year. How do they navigate school there in a way that we can't?
Well, their biggest thing is temperatures. So when it's minus 40, they say, hey, we're not going to let the kids stand at the bus stop, take the day off, But when it's minus 10, it's like T-shirt weather up there. I was just there, it was minus 10, and it was like, oh, it's really getting warm up here. And I'm like, yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful right now. So, they're ready for the snow, obviously. I mean, they're I sat on a runway in Winnipeg a few weeks ago, and I thought there's no way we're flying out of here, but off we went. So they're just more prepared, but they navigate it's just a little more, they would never go to school if they did it, kind of with this storm. They would never be in school.
You'd never be in school. I also saw some videos up there of how they do the snow removal. That's pretty crafty with the truck alongside to just take the snow up and out of there.
Yeah, they've slicked it up there for sure, and the sidewalks. I mean, it's all done instantly. But the other thing is they won't see. There's a lot of areas that won't see a bit of pavement or asphalt until April or May because the snow just compacts. And then what they do is they put sand on it, which is great. You just keep that keep the texture on it with sand. But every person in Alberta has got a chip in their windshield. Every single person in Alberta has got a chip in their windshield because in the winter you can't help it. Those stones just fly up into your and crack the glass.
We do the same thing in Montana with the sand and the gravel. There's no salt.
Yeah, you just live with it, right? It just compacts down. You put the sand on it, and then you spend the rest of the winter repairing cracks in the glass.
Yeah, I remember a great line from the late great Gord Downey who said, you grow up here, we're winter fighters. Either you get out and live in it, or you kind of just push in the chips. And that always stuck with me. Like, what choice do you have?
No, yeah, you go with it. You accept it and you go with it. So, or you don't live.
That's right. You don't. All right. Back at home tonight with the Flyers. We didn't play on Monday. That game will be made up. You've got, 5 games left before the break, and we don't lose with bonus. So if the bonus bounce continues a little bit, what do you expect here in these last 4?
Oh, I expect this team now to be like, they understand how and what has to be done, and they're being pushed at a level that they want to be pushed at. So they're hungry to win every game. The Flyers are on a bit of a slide. There's a lot of, there's going to be a lot of open ice here tonight for the Blue Jackets. This is a game that, this is one they have to win after what they've done the past few games against Dallas, Tampa, stopping their streak. That's some really good wins, but this is one where you have to keep that urgency up. This is going to be a team or a game where Rick Bowness has got to stay on the guys. The break is coming. This is an easier schedule. You can dip a little bit. So, yeah, and there's guys coming back. This team is now getting healthy, so you're seeing the depth and guys on waivers, and they've got a good thing going on here with competition and the pace of play.
I want to go back to the game being postponed. Do you think the guys would have rather have been able to play that game now instead of having to make it up later?
Hey, Joshua, good talking to you. Yeah, you know what? No, the schedule the way it is, they've got to play it later. I mean, that's just how. Well, too bad that was postponed, by the way. But that was, they had to postpone it. They got it in at March 7th or something on a Monday night. So 9th, yeah. So yeah, it'll work out fine. It's a team in LA. I guess they're going to be out here again, so that works out. I don't think they're coming here for one game, so that works out for them. And the schedule masters, it's surprising it doesn't happen more. But for the Blue Jackets, a nice little extra day off. They had fun yesterday in practice, playing some different games, and you just take advantage of those moments, and it could really help them pushing into this break.
Yeah, you talk about this stretch here. So Philly tonight, at Chicago, at St. Louis, at Jersey, and then you close here with Bedard and the boys on a week from today, actually, and then that's it. So you've got this 5-gamer, and then Olympic break, and then deadline, like all of this stuff. Do you think that like this stretch will dictate what this team does at the deadline?
Absolutely. And I don't know if they have to do anything. I mean, you got to be careful adding, right? New coach, picked up Zamula this year, picked up Heinen this year. Heinen has forced Aston Reese out. He's on waivers today, could be claimed. Goaltender situation, are they going to get Elvis revived? Maybe he turns into a player somebody wants, and maybe – you look at what teams want to give you, and if that adds to what you need, you also hunt some players that are available. But yeah, this will dictate it. This is 10 points the Blue Jackets will hunt for. They're going to try to get these 5 games, get 10 points, take a break, watch the Olympics, and then come back. And yeah, this dictates for sure, because there's a freeze over the break. Can't make any moves, but Don Waddell then will have a clear picture of where they're at. And if they go 500. He's going to be in a really tough spot. Really tough spot, because what do? Are you ready to push? Are you not? That's what he's watching.
Can you give us a little preview in terms of a couple key matchups you're looking at for tonight?
Well, tonight with this team, I mean, the goaltending matchup for me, or the goaltender for the Blue Jackets and Elvis Merzlikins has to be a key. I mean, he was started 3 games in a row. He was ill the last game he played. It's important for him to go on a run here. Mm-hmm. The Flyers, they have a couple players. Trevor Zegras is a highly skilled first-round pick that came from Anaheim, a guy that had a lot of flash in this game. He's a player they expect to score more goals. He's going to be one to watch for the Flyers tonight, especially on the power play. He's the guy that does the creative stuff, like the mission behind the net. He hasn't done it this year, but, he's one of those guys that Rick Tocchet, the head coach of the Flyers, has just kind of got him playing a real good brand of hockey. And for the Blue Jackets, I'm interested to see Matejchuk's back in the lineup here tonight, who he plays with, how he plays. He hasn't played for Rick Bowness yet. Rick Bowness is excited to see him play. Hopefully he just stays within himself, because if he can get, that top 4 responsibility like he deserves, that's going to give a really good punch to this team.
Jode, I've always felt like the Flyers sweater is one of the most underrated. I don't know that it gets the love I think they look so great. I love seeing them
especially
on the ice.
The black one.
The black one's unreal, isn't it? I mean, I'm too young for Broad Street Bullies, but God, it's a strong look. I love when they come into town. Yes, me too. It is strong. I mean, it is, I got to wear it for 3 years. That was, and it was my team kind of growing up. Like, I loved Eric Lindros, Rick Tocchet, all those gritty guys that played there. But you're right. It's one of the underrated, I think, emblems, because it's not an original 6. No, and they don't get the love of the Blackhawks and the Leafs and all those, but it's awesome. Mm-hmm. It is awesome. Speaking of the Leafs, they're in a big slide up there, boy. And this whole East, the Atlantic is no one's losing, and the Metro is similar to last year. This is still wide open. So, this is going to be a fun end of the season. Yeah, to Jody's point, I mean, we've been on this streak here since bonus, and you've made up some ground. Certainly, you got games in hand, so you're watching all of that. The amount of teams between 55 and 63. It's 10 teams. I mean, all of that's kind of remained the same. So, yeah, you're exactly right. Every single one of these next 5 are going to be critical for how you view. And then the one thing that's going to be really weird, Joe, I'll get you out of here on this one. You're just going to have to kind of sit there and sit on it, pause everything for weeks. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. That's going to, you know what's going to be hard, even for the broadcasters, is coming out of a 3-week break and getting back to work. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just chilling for 3 weeks in the middle of February. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's gas pedal down, because March is going to be nuts. I mean, the March schedule is like none other. So it's not just get back to work and have a camp. It's get back to work and travel and grind it out. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. And the Blue Jackets, the Atlantic has 2 wild card spots. The Blue Jackets are looking at the Islanders, who are only 6 points ahead of them. That's 3rd in the Metropolitan. So, you could be there by the break if you can put it together. Yeah. Critical stretch starting tonight with the Flyers. Good stuff as always, buddy. Do it again soon. All right. Thanks, guys. Good talking to you. All right, there he goes. A little bit of Shelley time on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Get you officially endorsed. And 3 things on a First Friday coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then they help you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, one thing our Pella Columbus team is really serious about is to not be salesy or pushy. We're just here to listen and hopefully make your dream a reality.
Oh, I had a dream last night where I went back in time to a dinosaur's birthday party and had to fight a triceratops for the last cupcake.
I meant more like home makeover type of dreams.
Oh, okay. I just got the dinosaur thing.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
It's Timmy Hall and AI Common Man. Happy to ring in another year with our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Mikey, do you want to be a millionaire? Hollywood is the place to do it.
From now until March 25th, you have the chance to win $1 million instantly. And here's something Mikey likey. All new brunch items at the Sportsbook restaurant and bar, like Biscoff stuffed French toast, country Benedict, or roast beef hash skillet. Yummy.
Must Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, it's Anthony. So I was recently asked how I've been doing in my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. And I paused and I said, you know what? Pretty darn good. Because it reminded me what I was dealing with a couple years ago. My personal journey. I had plantar fasciitis, that horrible heel pain. If I was on my feet for a while, my lower back would be on fire. And now, honestly, none of that. Zero issues with my feet since I started wearing them. I have my Good Feet arch supports in every day. I feel supported. I feel aligned. And now that I feel better, it's made all the difference. I want to work out more. I want to go out more. Just be more active. I'm telling you, over the last couple of years, my health, my energy, my quality of life has all been affected in a really positive way. They've really helped me keep the pain away. The guys ask me all the time, do I really have them in today? Yes, I do, and I'll take my shoes off upon request to show you. Go take the free test walk. The Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road in Grove City. Get started at goodfeet.com.
Man once shaved Timmy's leg live on the air. Tune in weekdays at 3 to see what else they'll shave. Wait, what else they'll shave? Who the hell wants to listen to that?
Common Man and Timmy, smooth as silk.
Okay, The Fan.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, before we get to your officially endorsed bake, what do we have in the poll today?
The daily fan poll over at 971thefan.com. And, Bo, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little surprised by this today. Besides Michigan, which of these 4 games on Ohio State's 2026 schedule are you most excited about? Texas, week 2, Indiana, USC on Halloween, or Oregon? Indiana, with 47.4% of the vote, is leading this thing. Texas number 2 with 27, Oregon 18.5, and 7.1 for USC. I thought Texas and Austin would be the winner in this.
How would you guys rate those 4?
This feels like a threat level assessment more than a rating of how excited people are about that game. Texas would be the top one for me. Then I would do Indiana, USC, and then probably Oregon if I had to rank them.
I think Texas for sure is number 1 for me. I think maybe, and I understand that Indiana, we think that's going to be a really good game.
Got to get your get back.
You don't always make the trip to the Coliseum, though. Now, maybe you will moving forward, but you haven't done it in a long time. So that's kind of intriguing to me. That might be my number 2.
If Indiana was running it back with their team, I would have Indiana higher. But because they're essentially a start over, I know you want your retribution. That's probably why they're having so many points, is you want a little bit of revenge on them and show them who's boss. I would go Texas, USC, Oregon. No, Texas, Oregon, USC, Indiana. Because I think Oregon's going to be really, really good. I think that could be like number 1 against number 2, something like that, when those two teams play. All right, time for your officially endorsed. Hit it.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday. Officially endorsed. Because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
You drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
What we're going to go with today is a little drop back in history. I remember vividly the first time I had this drink because it was a drink that my parents let me have a sip of when I was no older than 9. It was in Banff, Canada, and we were up there in the winter doing a little bit of skiing, and my mom ordered a hot Alpine. And I had no idea what one was because, well, I was 9. And what it is it's hot chocolate, and what you have in it is a little bit of menthol mint or peppermint schnapps. But it's a warmer.
Gosh,
feels
it's so
good.
good.
Tastes pretty good. I never see it anywhere around here. I think people just call it what it is. But in Canada at that time, they called them a hot Alpine. And I'll never forget that was the first sip of alcohol I ever tasted. It was very light on the schnapps, I think.
I did not do peppermint schnapps, but I did have a hot chocolate last night that I dropped like a chocolate mint into.
Ooh. There you go.
For that flavor. Gosh, that was good.
It's good. Very, very good. Yeah, a little bit of hot Alp, a little bit of menthol mint or peppermint schnapps really it's a real delight. Let's hit 3 things on a First Friday.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Kids were back in school today. The loyal listeners know that I always lament the drop-off process. So we left 5 minutes early because we knew that little Timmy's couldn't walk the extra 50 feet to the door, and everyone was getting dropped off right in front. So 3 cars at a time getting dropped off. So I knew what was in store. Left at 7:20 for something that should take 13 minutes. So we got to 3 blocks from the school at 7:33. So I looked to Beamsy and I go, "What's your over/under on when we get to the door?" And he goes, 7:48. I'm like, dude, no way. 15 minutes? 3 blocks? No chance. NBC goes, 7:42. I said, I'm going to meet you in the middle. I think it's going to be about 7:45, 7:46. And there were, I'm not kidding you, 150 cars behind me. Beamsy nailed it exactly. 15 minutes to go 3 blocks because we can't pull around and make kids walk an extra 50 feet. We live in a society, people. Please be a part of it.
We're getting soft out here. You know this one is grinding my gears. All right. My first thing, have you guys heard of Kabi Lame, the influencer? All right. So this guy, basically, his shtick is he doesn't say anything. He signed a $975 million deal for his brand to be managed by this company in Hong Kong. And it's intriguing to me because when we were growing up, people would be like, oh, I want to be an athlete. I want to be an actor. I want to be a musician. Those were like the you can't do it jobs. And then I think about like kids saying they want to be an influencer. And I see numbers being bandied about like that. I mean, we talk into microphones for a living and people pay us. And so I think we got to get realistic with the youth. But shoot for the stars. $1 billion for an influencer is crazy.
It's crazy.
First thing for me, the Columbus Blue Jackets playing the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. A later start, 7:30. That's because it is a TNT national broadcast. Of course, we'll have it here on the Fan for you beginning at 7. It is Military Appreciation Night at Nationwide. The team is going to give out CBJ flags to fans in attendance. They're going to honor active duty service members and veterans. They're also going to have the Ohio Warriors sled hockey team out there for a scrimmage. Fans can participate in military-focused activities throughout the concourse. You can also donate fruit snacks or beef jerky to the USO Ohio for a special buy one, get one ticket offer. There are a limited Military Appreciation Night ticket packages. There are some of those available. Head over to bluejackets.com/military appreciation.
Great job. Love when they do stuff like that. Number 2 for me, here's something I hate. So NBC, the 14-year-old, 10 minutes before we get into the car is just lamenting how cold it is. It's too cold to go to school. I'm like, dude, you've been off like 3 of the last 4 days. Like at some point you have to go to school. Yeah, but I don't want to. Okay, fine. It's too cold. What if I get frostbite? You're going to feel bad. So we go to get in the car. He's not wearing a coat. I said, where's your coat? He's like, I don't want to have to deal with that. It's just one more thing for me to keep track of. I go, hold on a second. Can't you just hang it in your locker and leave it there all day? Yeah, you could, but then I'd have to worry about it. Okay, then stop. This is what's coming, buddy. This is what's coming.
Oh, man.
Punks, man. Punks.
They are. The youth of America is... They're doing a number right now.
They're allergic to coats, JP. They won't wear coats.
My mom works at an elementary school on a playground, and the stories I hear about the coat situation. And by the way, people are leaving Canada Goose, which sending your kid to school in Canada Goose is insane, but they're leaving them out on the playground. They're in the lost and found. Like, we're out of control. All right, my second thing, on my way home, I went and got donuts, and I gave one to my son when I got home. James loves a little sweet treat. So I go to the gym and I get back and he's eating the last donut that was in there. It was the one that I really wanted to eat. It was a glazed cake donut. And so my wife was like, well, you know what? You opened up a can of worms. Like all he wants to eat right now is donuts. So he's sitting over doing his thing. And I'm like, what about Cheez-Its? And Maddie was like, no, he hates Cheez-Its now. He just told me that. And so I take the donut from him because I'm going to get mine, right? Like I'm eating this donut. And 30 seconds later, this kid is up to his shoulder in a box of Cheez-Its. These kids crack me up at this age because it's just whatever they want to do happens.
It does. Yeah, that's great.
I love it. Second thing for me, I don't know if we're getting to 3. So Rothman and Ice, they are loaded up this afternoon. Adam Schefter at 12:30, the General Bob Carpenter at 1:30, and then they'll do a little Hockey and Hounds on a game day with Damon Severson at 2:30.
Yeah, you're right. We're not getting to 3. Up against it. Enjoy your first Friday. Act accordingly. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.